Welcome, everyone. This is Saturday Evening Chats, episode 137, and we have us with us tonight, Mr. New York Outcast. What's going on, Rob?
Not too much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the invite. Thanks for joining us out there in the crowd.
Yeah, well, thanks, and let's play the intro.
In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man. G23.
So, first in tonight was Mr. Sam of Anarchy, and M. Gabriel saying hello to you there, Rob. Mr. Keith Gregory's out there, Carolina EDC, and Mr. Craig from Georgia Trapping and Fishing. Welcome, guys. So, topic of tonight is, even though you're possibly a seasoned firearm owner, you can still make mistakes to make you feel like a newbie. And so Monday, I got the phone call saying, hey, your firearms are ready for pickup. We got the proceed on your 4473. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll be up there Wednesday to pick them up. I go up, pick them up, and we get back to the house, and I'm like, I don't like where the front vertical grip is, so I'm going to move it back a little bit. And so I grabbed the flathead screwdriver to take the screws out of the front vertical grip to be able to then get to the pick reel adapter that's on there. And when I started to put some pressure on to break the screw free, the handrail moved. So, me not knowing a hell of a lot about ARs, because I'm not really an AR guy, I unscrewed the handguard, and I'm like, what the hell? This came off way too damn easy, And I'm like, there's no damn barrel nut on this gun. So I called the shop where I bought the gun, which was Newport Pawn and Gun Shop, and I told them the situation, and they're like, hey, bring it back to us, and we'll have our gunsmiths look at it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll drive up on Friday and everything. And so Friday we drove up there. We get there, and then come to find out the gunsmith had called in sick. Life happens, whatever. And then the manager is like looking at it, and he's like, yeah, the barrel nut is there. It's just inside the handguard. So it just wasn't torqued down to spec. And to make a long story short, we kind of had a little back and forth, where I was given the option is either leave the firearm with them and then come back and pick it up once it had been fixed, or leave it with them and have it shipped to an FFL that was closer to me, which would mean, guess what? I get to go put another 4473 in on a firearm that's already mine, which none of us agree with, you know. Uh, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just take the firearm because it's a long drive. We're talking it's like a 4-hour drive, roughly, from where I am to this shop. Um, so I was like, I'll just take it and I'll go buy a armor's wrench and I'll torque it to spec myself. Um, and the shop manager was like, he called the owner. They were talking. I ended up talking with the owner again. I told the owner, you know what, I'll just go buy an armor's wrench and I'll do the work myself. It's no problem. And he's like, no, you're not gonna go and buy the armor's wrench. We'll give it to you for free. And then he's like, how about we throw in a box of ammo also? So they decided to give me the armor's wrench for free and gave me the box of ammo also. It's like, hey, we fucked up. Here's a little bit, you know. So they made it right in my eyes. It could have been like, hey, guess what? It was a used firearm. Buyer beware. They didn't do any of that. So it was pretty awesome that they did what they did. And so, to kind of talk about when you're a new firearm buyer, you may not know all this kind of stuff. So to know that there are shops out there are FFLs out there that are reputable and they're going to stand behind, even though it's a used firearm, we're going to stand behind. We're going to make things right is always a good thing. So your thoughts there, New York?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm sure that Glock sign in there is what really caught your eye. I don't know how you seen it 4 hours away, but you know, now I'm kind of shocked. I think it's the way it went down's good, but I'd like to think a shop would look over things, even items on consignment because it's coming out of your facility. Whether you have a legal obligation or not, word of mouth can destroy you. But it is great to hear that they were willing to do that. Do something for you instead of saying, well, how do I know what you did with it on your ride home? Blah blah blah, or God no, any kind of cop out they could have thrown. So, and more than likely, it was probably a maybe a wake up call to do a little better inspection on things that come through the door at the shop. So, all in all, I'd do business with him again. I would, would it be wrong of me to double check everything? Maybe triple check? Probably not, but I'd do business. At least if there is a problem, they're going to offer something. So, and that really says a lot compared to a lot of other places or products. So, all in all, I'm just glad you didn't take it out to the range with a kids or friend and their kid or something, and something scary happened. Not that I think anybody would have died, but they might have needed a new pair of pants, but or even yourself in that situation. But definitely that's a shocker. Could see how it happened, especially since you're stating you talked to the owner, I guess. So maybe the guy had parts around, needed money, threw it together quick, and never really finished it off. I mean, uh, sometimes mistakes can happen in a sense. So, but yeah, I'm glad nobody's injured. Glad you were able to that they offered that to you. I mean, I think that's really cool. I'd be interested in who covered it, whether it was the original owner or the shop itself. Not that it really makes a difference in the end, but it just interesting out of curiosity. But yeah, that's something. You say 4 hours away. I gotta ask, that's 8 hour round trip. An armorer's wrench and a box of ammo. I'm not sure the value. Obviously brand would make a big difference. I think I got mine for like $25. So no, it's not some high end whatever wheeler tool or something like that. But it's and it works, and I don't use it every day. So yeah, it's like a Harbor Freight tool to me. I use it a couple times here and there. That's all I really care about. So, but I'm just curious, does it justify the trip? Cost wise, because you still might have been better off just picking one up yourself. But I am that cheap that I do the math to figure it out. But yeah, it's definitely a lesson, I guess. Probably to all three parties in a sense. You say seasoned Goya seasoning, I assume. Uh, what's the shop owner's excuse? I mean, he's probably handles them daily, getting them coming in and out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, questionable, but again, in the end, I'd still do business with the shop because at least they addressed it. Everybody can screw up occasionally, but it's how you deal with it that really makes a big difference to me. And are you happy?
Yeah,
And that's all that matters. You the buyer is happy. So yeah. Personally, like I said, I think it's reputable that they did offer and say, no, don't buy that. We're going to do this and throw you a box of ammo or something. You know what I mean? They tried to do something. That's what people should do.
yeah, and I know we've been joined out there by Woods, Mr. Keith Gregory's out there, Ron Wayne's out there, and the Scottish American is out there. And yeah, Woods is right. I'm not an AR guy. Here's the thing. It was a package deal. I got the AR, and it's chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, so it's a PCC. That was a good deal. And I picked up a AK at the same time. So there's going to be videos on both of them. And yeah, I was gonna buy. I probably would have bought the armorer's wrench at some point in time. Because you never know when you're gonna decide. To change out a handguard or whatever, and so you may have to change a barrel nut. So you're gonna need the armorer's wrench. And it would have, and like you said, an armorer's wrench isn't super expensive. It was like $28 for the armorer's wrench.
I think some of those get up there.
Yeah.
But that's where you're, it's like Klein Tools, or you're getting into a higher end. That's your job. You use it every day. But in general, I got mine off eBay. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, this is a NC Star, and I know NC Star makes good stuff. It's the same company that I have my universal sight pusher, which when you're changing sights and different firearms, it's nice to have a sight pusher. And one of the reasons I chose the NC Star is because you can hook up and use a ratchet to turn on there if you really have to like crank out some sights, uh, and you don't want to use their little metal handle that they have. Uh, so it, they're a pretty good company. They've been around for a long time, and yeah, armors wrenches can vary in prices, and um, you know depending on if it's one of those like 30-in-1 functions, what brand is it, yeah, of course, if you're going to get a Wheeler or any of those other wrenches, yeah, I think that's kind of like what the one I looks like. um, so if you took the box of ammo and the wrench, it's like $50. um, you take what I paid for gas. That was like $43 for gas.
All right, how about those coffee stops that you wouldn't have taken if you didn't take the trip, and
Oh,
possibly
we would
one
have.
for the lady or whatever?
Oh, we
I
would
mean,
have
if you
made
would
the.
have done it anyway, then it doesn't count. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we go to the ocean all the time. It's not, that's the thing is, back at like a month ago, we were we drove up to the ocean. We went up to Lincoln City, and then we were driving back down. And I had kept telling the wife that I was going to stop at this, you know, particular shop and go see what they had. And so we did that day and ended up buying the gun. So I knew we were going to make another trip back to go pick it up once the background check came in. Not a problem. Um, and having to drive back up there, to have them look at the firearm, they just gave us another excuse on why to go to the ocean, for another day. So, so yeah, like the wife's like we really need an excuse.
well, that's cool if you're gonna do it anyway. I mean, it would have sucked if you had to wait 2 weeks to get time off work or put something off to do it. Yeah, it may be a different story. But if it's something, if you might have went 4 hours in the other direction that weekend. Yeah, I mean, if something you were gonna do anyway, then yeah, obviously that's not a problem. But yeah, when he bust out and get nitpicky, I mean, you can get all the way down to percentage of miles versus what your oil change cost. I mean, when you get into details, but times were something. But again, if you were doing that anyway, then yeah, that you got to account for that as well. So no, that's cool, man. I'm glad. Like I said, glad it didn't turn out to be any kind of major problem, or thrown out of some range or something on your way home with it or something because your barrel blew off and went down range or something and scared the crap out of everybody. Things like that. So, uh, yeah, good. I guess in a way you got lucky. Depending on how you look at things.
Yeah, and the thing is, it could happen with new firearms, and it's kind of what Um, I decided, hey, we should kind of talk about this, get some of this information out, because things can be overseen, you know. And when I was talking with the owner, he was, again, kind of an AR novice. So y'all that have built ARs can tell me, yes, this is true. No, it's not really true. When you like after you tighten the barrel nut down, the first time, and you go out and you shoot it, you're supposed to like go and double check that it's still tight, because they can come free. You know, if you equate it to a car, when you go and buy brand new rims for your car, after X amount of miles, you're supposed to go and retorque your rims to make sure that the lug nuts stay tight.
Yep. There's a few things with cars like that you're supposed to, some to do to heat, things like that. But yeah, it makes sense. It wouldn't be a bad idea to double check. And you do have a heat factor as well with a firearm, so it makes sense.
So all in all, the thing is when I bought the firearms, they gave me a package deal. I didn't pay anywhere near what they were asking. So if you took the two firearms and looked at what their asking price was, combined them, added them together, it should have been somewhere around the $1,200 mark, and I didn't pay anywhere near that. Because I, negotiated with them like what you're supposed to do, right?
Definitely, if it's on consignment. So I did the same thing. Technically, negotiated and saved $200. Because I mean, I don't know. Speaking of new people or mistakes, I'm sure most of the people you named off out there are probably aware. But at least here, anything on consignment is an easy 20% right off the top. Doesn't matter what you could be selling a toothbrush, they're going to want 20% right off the top. So some places more so. So it depends. And then if you sell a lot of stuff, sometimes they'll work a deal with you. So basically, going in the door, expect it to be marked up. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna have to take money off for the guy selling it as well. So a lot of times they throw a crazy number there, knowing that people are gonna, like with cars, show up and offer you, Uncle Jim Bob's 4-wheeler or this jet ski or whatever crap comes up. They're going to try to haggle. So you always kick it a little higher so you have room. They feel like they won, and you still come out with what you wanted to begin with. Plus, the dealer was paid. We're obviously that's pretty much, to my understanding, how it's probably done everywhere because people like money.
And the Pack 9, which I showed a picture of in my Strawberry Hill video, that is a brand spanking new firearm. So one used firearm, one brand spanking new firearm, package deal. And the AK is a 9mm pistol, and then you got the AR and 40 Smith & Wesson as a PCC. It's got a 16-inch barrel. So I see MacMan Reloading has jumped in, Chris from the 740, and Mr. Tim S is out there. So welcome.
Now, when you say new, you purchase these both on consignment from the same guy?
The Pack 9 wasn't on consignment. That was brand new in
through the
shop,
store.
FFL, yeah.
Okay, yeah. When people, sell a supposed new gun used, I've always got to question it because they test firearms at the factory. I mean, how do you truly know it's only had 2 shots ran through it by the manufacturer? You know what I mean? They might have took it out, spent a weekend with it, didn't like it, and then they're throwing it up saying it's a brand new gun. And is it basically a new gun? Sure, but like new and new are 2 different things when it comes to pricing.
Yep. Even in the car world, like new and new are not the same damn thing. Because you can have a brand new car, and you can still, haggle down brand new prices. You're not going to get as much of a haggle room as you can with a used car or like used car, because they already know there's that room that they're still going to make money because they're going to buy it at the low end of book value, and they're going to try selling at the high end or maybe even above high end, and because they know somewhere in the middle is where they're going to sell it.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious when you talk like trade-ins. You bring your car in, and oh my goodness, I can't believe it made it here. We'll offer you this much, and then you take a walk on the lot and get one a couple years newer, and this thing's cherry. It's got all this. They want above book. They want to give you way less than book when you bring something in, though. So I always find that to be hilarious, but yeah, that's how people make money. So yeah. The same guy, or another scenario, the same guy that flips cars is telling somebody, well, the bearings are shot, tires are shot. Look at all these bushings. Who looks at bushings? Look at all these bushings. They're shot. I'm going to have to change these. The linkage is bad. The visor's ripped. I'm going to have to change that. But that same guy will spend, $200 and kick that car out and request, thousands more. And it's worth it. I know it's worth it. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's because they're making money. That's the way the game goes.
Hey, it's like when I bought my Pathfinder. I bought it used, and the seller was pretty honest about it. Um,
Damn right, Scotsman. Damn right.
but I still nitpicked the car. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go put anywhere from $400 to $1,000 in a new stereo, because there's not a stereo in it.
I'd be like, you can get one at Walmart for $69.99. Don't try to screw me, boy.
And I'm gonna tell you, you ain't getting you ain't getting a good deck if you're thinking you're gonna buy one at Walmart for $70. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to put new tires in it. Gonna have to do a few other things, and so I was like, I'm just not even gonna make an offer on the car because it's gonna be way too low, and it's gonna probably hurt your feelings. And the guy's like, go ahead, just make me whatever offer you think. And he wanted like $900 for it, and I was like, I'd probably offer you about $600 for it. So, kind of a little haggle back and forth, and I was like, I'll go to 7. We ended up agreeing to do a coin flip, because he went down to 8, and so we coin flipped over if I was going to pay $700 or $800. I won the coin flip.
Wow. Yeah, that's something I won't do is coin flip because the way I see it, if it means that little to you, then you might as well just come down. Like, yeah, I'm basing this value on, credible information. We can go online and look this stuff up right now. So, yeah, shit, I've walked away from a pretty big deal over $20 just because we pretty much came to the same conversation. But the guy was a cocky bastard. So, $20. We got to go have a meeting and sit down and all this shit. So, that's why I don't need the job that bad. You know what I mean? If that's how, that's a good indicator that you're not a customer I want to deal with, at least to me.
Yeah, I was the one that decided, hey, let's do a coin flip. I was just, I figured at that point he's probably going to be like, no, because yeah, you're running a risk. Either you're going to get what you want or you're going to lose and not get what you want. I was just kind of being a smart ass. And
I mean, it's your ability. It's your right. I can think of another time I went and test drove this Ninja, and I've always never been a fan of them. I don't like the way the mirrors come out, the bars. I just don't like them. Granted, there was a big fan club behind them or whatever. The bike ran great, but it was all pieced together. Like, I don't know if it wrecked, whatever. Like, of course, I made a scene out of it. Like, this thing got a seatbelt. Guy thought I, couldn't ride it. Next thing you know, I'm in the rain doing speeds I shouldn't mention online down a back road halfway on the ground. And I returned the bike, and basically he didn't want to come down. Uh, so told him I made him an offer. He didn't want to take it because the bike was pieced together. Anybody that knows bikes knows how much plastics cost. Like to get a bike looking good again, that shit ain't cheap, and you don't just spray paint it. You know what I mean? So, so that's like to me that's a biggie. And basically, yeah, I left. And within 20 minutes, the dude called me back up, and apparently his wife was showing him a new one, and he was willing to take my offer. But at that point, I've already drove down the road. Sorry. so, so I don't know. I guess I can be a dick, but take the offer. Don't be a greedy son of a bitch. Like honestly, the only reason I made the offer is because I had that high of just getting off a bike. I'll be honest, that's what it was. When I had a minute to think about it, it really wasn't worth it. He should have just took the money I was trying to hand him. But instead, he got stuck trying to sell a part together bike and a pissed off wife. So, it's the game you play sometimes.
M. Gabriel says ninjas are like being shoved butt first into a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of cosmetics and stuff. So I'd much rather take a Honda or even a Suzuki. I mean, almost anything. And I like Kawasaki's. I had an Enduro for a while, which was a heavy ass dog, but it was dependable. You know what I mean? Fun, dependable, but all in all, I'm just not. It's just not. It's like a Glock to me. It works. You could ride. You could have fun. I got that little high off it, but I just like other stuff better.
So I'll be releasing a video tomorrow. I know the Scotsman put out a kind of like a challenge or however you want to look at it. It's a shout out to Jamie JH586, trying to get his numbers up to 1,000. He's sitting like 9:30ish, 9:40, somewhere in that neighborhood. And so, when I was taking the firearm back to the shop yesterday, I made my VR video, and I hope Jamie enjoys the video. It's probably going to be a little different than anyone else will do. So I think it's kind of funny. We'll see. So if you look in that video, may come out either tonight or tomorrow. I just have to do a little editing, and then when I say editing, I don't really edit. I put some words on the video, and then I'll put some links in. That's what my editing is. I probably should actually learn how to use a video editing software. And I can take 2 short videos and I can link them together to make one longer video. I can do that kind of stuff. That's pretty basic, easy. I'm not the techie guy. I'm not. I'd rather be outside, either at the beach, in the mountains. I'd rather be doing something than sitting at home behind a computer trying to figure out how to work in a video editing software, or even trying to figure out how to run a computer very well. I barely can figure out how to function my phone, and make my phone work. So we're lucky at that. So we have Mr. Ozzy Osbourne out in the crowd. I have to be careful because I always call him Osborne. I don't know why it is. So Chris from the 740s out there. Mr. Burnaby, what were you going to say?
I said I just stick with Ozzy to be safe because I naturally do the same damn thing. It just comes to mind. So
it does.
There's not too many people I've known named Ozzy, so it just naturally pops up. Yeah, first thinking.
Well, that and Osborne and Osborne, not too off on the spelling.
Yep, us public school people just do a quick glance and we're like, "Yep, Ozzy Osbourne." Oh, wait a minute. No.
Yep, and that, if you pay attention to a lot of your scientifical studies and stuff, the human brain will automatically fill in certain things. So a lot of typos that people are like, oh, well, you spelled this wrong. Well, did you get what my gist was? Did you understand what I was saying? Because more likely than not, your brain automatically corrected it whatever.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. But personally, I've been pissed off with the language since school. You throw names in, it's different. Different. The same word has different meanings depending how you write it. I mean, I don't know. I think we got a confusing ass language compared to others. Personally, I think it's kind of overcomplicated in some senses, but I don't know. And I'm not great with it, so especially names. You don't want me working at an office in an urban city. It's gonna get fucked up. I can tell you what. So, just what it is. But I've, accepted it as a kid. Yeah, my skills are in other places, so yeah, it happens. So I mean, could you overcome it? Honestly, shit, I improved my reading the most by my first kid's mom being deaf. You know, you want to watch TV and you click the closed caption on, you get a lot quicker with your reading and stuff. So yeah, it's just what it is. So is that shameful? I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to make jokes. I've heard them all. Go right ahead. Yeah. We all excel in different areas.
Yep. Spelling has never been one of my strong suits, and I have no problem saying, guess what? I suck at spelling. I don't care. Um, I, you know, I work at it, but it's not going to be one of those ones that's my main focus because, like you said, I'm not trying to be a secretary. I'm not trying to, be a lawyer or a doctor or something that requires that I can spell shit correctly. Um, and I'm fine with that. There's a lot of times if I need to spell something correctly because it's important to make sure that I'm spelling it correct, I'll ask the damn wife. You know.
Shit, I've done the same thing. Yeah. I don't know. So, my contracts, all that shit, I write them all. I do all that stuff because how details matter, like so much. People, yeah, I don't know. People don't get it, but I guess in business, you understand the details matter. Exactly when something comes in order, how you term it, all that makes a huge difference. So, I go through, write everything, and then I hand it over to the lady, and she makes it look pretty. Yeah, I don't know. No shame in my game. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Uh, yeah, that's what it is. So, but I don't really care. Like I said, it's been something since school, so I don't know. My brain works differently, but yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just have calamari left. So we've got Balding Curious who's jumped in there, and Mr. David Walcott's out there.
Back to the topic of stupid things. I've been trying to think of stuff I've done. In a hurry, I bought the wrong ammo. And wouldn't you know, they don't return ammo once you come out of the store with it. I don't know. I guess they think you're going to crack it open and do something to it. I don't know, in the parking lot and bring it back in. But yeah, that was kind of stupid. So uh, just in a hurry. And, maybe that's the whole I seen what I wanted to see thing. I don't know. But I've been nailed with that. Thankfully, only once, but it has happened. Shit. Other than that, one time, this wasn't long after I got back in a sense from service. Was went out with some friends and this and that, and they're all excited. And I get out there, they handed me a mini 30, I think, and I'm sitting there racking it like a bolt gun, dropping rounds on the ground. Look down and I'm like, what the hell? Like, that was pretty stupid. So stupid it had him speechless. Hey, I
No,
can top that. I mailed shit out and swapped around sender to receiver and mailed the shit back to myself. I've only done it once, but I've done it.
oh, by the way, Rob, I sent you an email. Um, you'll enjoy the picture I sent you.
Ah, All right. Another device to look it up on.
So I'm pretty damn sure that you probably grabbed 9x18 instead of 9x19, huh?
Actually, I grabbed, what was it? I needed 20 gauge and I bought 12.
Yeah, that could tend to not work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe file it down a little bit or something. I don't know. But yeah, that, yeah, 5 pounds of stuff don't fit in a 3 pound bag.
Wood says, I have a box of 38 Smith & Wesson, not special. I bought not paying attention. Yeah, sometimes, hey, I'm running to the range and, oh crap, let me run into the store and grab a couple more boxes or a box more of ammo so that in case I want to stay longer or, in case other people, want to buy, shoot the firearm and I'm feeling nice, I have extra ammo. And you grab the wrong damn thing and then you're like, how could I be a fucking moron? It happens. Wood says, wrote a term paper about public school policy, but spelled it pubic school multiple times in the same report. Yep.
That's funny. Did you have to read it out? That would have been hilarious. If, yeah, well, you probably would have read it right, but that's funny. Yeah, spell check. I wouldn't have made it, through college without spell check. Just wouldn't have been a thing. And that still, yeah, it wasn't perfect. Yeah, you want to see a pissed off professor? Go see an English professor. Like they got nothing good to say about the high schools or anything else. It seems like everybody's taught something different, and it all clashes together.
Mr. Burnaby is hitting below the belt there, Rob.
Oh, it's messed up, man. It's messed up. Yeah, I see that email too, and yeah, I told you, man. You gotta keep an eye out. You never know. They get around, bro.
So, what everyone, uh, I was, this was, we were out driving yesterday, and all of a sudden, you know, we're just cruising. We stop at this beautiful park, and sure as shit, there's a squatch. I mean, he's just standing between trees.
Checking you out, man. Hoping you were gonna leave some donuts over on the picnic table.
Or he was worried that I was going to pee in his river. Because the building right on the left side of there is a bathroom, so I was actually going to go use the restroom after I got done smoking a cigarette because I don't smoke in my car. And yeah, I saw the squatch, and when I saw the squatch, I was like, "Oh shit, Rob's never gonna believe this." So I snapped a picture of it.
Yeah, they get around, man. Yeah, the boogers, the skunk ape, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're from. So, yeah, I think it's the whole thing on Yogi the Bear. Yeah, I think technically that was just a cover. Yeah.
Quite possibly. So we've got the gun-toting pacifist out in the crowd. Moo Butts is out there. So Just a sec. I know I sent out links to a lot of different people, but uh,
Oh, I would say, it's a little different. Same thing on the topics, kind of, but well, relating to your experience. But I usually, seems like I know more about the item I'm buying than the person selling to me. Because anything where I'm spending a decent amount of money, I think about it, I look at it, I compare, I try to figure this out, figure that out. What are the pros? What are the cons? And by the end, I usually end up having a better idea than the person that's selling it to me. Usually. So, but I still like with a brand new gun. I've had people like come up and, what the hell are you doing? Because I'm literally beating it on my bumper. You know, uh, with a brand new gun, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. But I'm testing the drop safety feature, whatever the case is. I literally throw it in the yard. Uh, I just want to know. Just because it's supposed to work, don't mean it's gonna work. As you said before, things happen sometimes. I've had brand new auto parts that are busted from brand new. Seen brake pads that are cracked as soon as you open the box. So I don't ever buy those economy damn mechanic specials, they refer to them as, if you don't know. Don't get the cheap shit when you're getting your car worked on when it comes to brakes. You don't want it. Like, they're getting those pads for like $10. They're garbage. But and I've had sets where they're just straight up cracked, right brand new. So every once in a while something happens. Every once in a while, the air pressure went off in their little tool where they were, assembling something, and they thought it set right, but it didn't. So it's always good to check your stuff. If it's out of safety, check the safety, make sure it works, hold it in a safe direction, make sure nobody's there. You'd much rather figure that out when you're experimenting than when it's in the back of your vehicle on the way home or something. You know what I mean? Double check things. Don't take it for granted. That's the same thing, obviously. We've been talking a lot about vehicles, but same thing with vehicles. Kind of double check things, look over. If you don't know, take somebody that does. Not the guy that claims they do, the guy that does. There's a difference. Us guys, we all know everything, but if you look carefully, you can tell the difference. I go to buy a jet, I'm taking somebody that knows jets. It's just that simple.
so we've got Mr. CB who's joined us out in the crowd. Welcome. Yeah, shit happens all the time. And kind of going back a little bit, when you were talking about, them not letting you return ammo, guess what? You can thank the AFT for that. Because technically, you can't return ammo, you can't return alcohol, and you can't return tobacco. Once you walk out the store, now some stores will allow you to do it, not ammo. I don't think I've come across a single store that will let you like swap the ammo. I guess it kind of gets a gray area.
Maybe if you noticed before you didn't leave the store, maybe they would, and they can prove, you didn't tamper with it, or because you're right within their facility on the grounds. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was a while ago, back when I was foolish enough to shop at Dick's, and they live up to their name.
The Scottish American says Rob sends his gun back to the manufacturer, and they ask, what happened? Well, you see, I wanted to test your product, and yeah, it met the bumper of my car.
Dude, I'm dead serious. I don't care if it's a CZ Shadow 2, if it's a $35,000 gun. I'm going to test this son of a bitch. But, I'm not a collector. I buy these as tools. I don't care if it's got a scratch. I mean, I'm not necessarily Jaeger on that aspect, but, you shouldn't be afraid to drop your gun, in my opinion. I mean, if it's a pretty barbecue gun, maybe that's different. But if it can't take being dropped, I'm just gonna call it a piece of shit. Now, would I do that with a meteorite handled 1911? No, but I wouldn't carry one, nor could I afford one. You know what I mean? But that's a piece of art. I'm not gonna reach for that in that sense. But in general, a carry gun, shit, my gun bashes in the corners like daily. My holes got my shirts got holes in them for my sights. Like a lot of them, if they're older shirts or whatever. I'm always bashing shit into it. So, if it can't take that, then it's not something I want to carry. I don't carry one to impress other people. I carry one to defend, for a tool. So, everybody's different. So,
Big pieces. I returned ammo to PSA one time. They sent the wrong product and made it right. And see, that's kind of a different situation because you didn't go into the facility to buy it, walk out. That was on them. They sent you the wrong damn thing. And if you've got the packing list along with your order, it's like, hey, guess what? You fucked up, not me. you know. So either you should buy a 38 for that box of ammo, or you take it to a gun show and maybe barter it. So Wood
I
says,
gotta. Sorry, go ahead.
"Oh, go for it."
I was just to say I got a better deal on my tires for my truck because I gave the guy, some 40 ammunition, and that was the technician, which put a word in, and prices got swapped around a little bit, and I don't know. He did what he did, and I came out pretty much ahead. So is in small talk, you may be surprised what kind of deals you can get, especially when people can't find it. Then it's worth more to them at that point. So you never know. Small talk goes a long way sometimes.
So Bending Ballistic says, "Why not buy a 357? You can shoot both 38 and 357 from it." Yes, it's if you're talking 38 special, but this was 38 S&W, so not special rounds. And we've got Hobbies Hobo out there. G-Web says 40 is like fine wine to an ammo connoisseur. Yes, I mean, I accept 40 Smith & Wesson as payment.
Yeah, I'll barter work, do a roof, whatever for firearms or whatever, ATVs. It all depends. If it's worth the money to me, yeah, I got no problems with that.
But Scotsman says 40 is the biggest caliber of the FBI. That would would have been 9 mil if you actually want to be technical, because they went from 9 mil and developed 40 because of what happened in the Miami-Dade shootout, where it couldn't handle the job. 40 handles the job, and 10 mil then kind of went away. I mean, yeah, it was still around, but most of your manufacturer, if you're not reloading it yourself, and let me make everyone, if you're not reloading it yourself, if you're not actually hand loading it yourself, most of your ammo that's on the market is underpowered. So you're paying more for 10 mil ammo than just buying 40 Smith & Wesson. So it's loaded. Most of it's loaded with a 40 cal grain load. Maybe a little more, not by much. So it is what it is.
I never had a problem or complaint with 40, other than it's more expensive than 9 millimeter. But yeah, everybody knows I'm a cheap son of a bitch. But seems to work. It's fine. Gets the job done. I don't know. I think it all comes down to shot placement, and technically most people succumb, to blood loss in most cases if you look at statistics. So really, it's just kind of a preference thing in my opinion. But I don't have anything against 40 personally, any caliber. I almost think everybody 45 to me. 45 was kind of softer than 40 or 9 millimeter in a small frame gun. So maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just how I interpret the recoil. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I don't. Everybody, you're not man enough to handle it. I totally disagree. I would, question the other way around in some cases. So. But I think that all has to do with the size of the firearm, whatnot, too, as well. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody knows I'm a little weird, but to me, I just don't see, that being a thing as far as the recoil. I'd almost state, like I said, 40 was probably stronger than all, but 9 more than 45. And I'm sure there's people out there like that's just crazy, but.
Actually, a lot of people will say that 45s feel softer, like they recoil softer. And it, probably comes down to the fact of they're not moving anywhere near as quick as, a 9 or a 40. You're talking most 45s are somewhere in the 800, 900 foot or FPS, feet per second. It's right around and where,
So you
so
can outrun it in my Civic?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe if
maybe
it's
that's pushing it. Maybe that's pushing
maybe if your Civic's going in reverse down the driveway.
it.
But so I want to get a chrono or a lap radar and test, because I've got some rounds for the 40, the 120 grain rounds that are supposed to be traveling at like 1,300 feet per second. And so if you run that through a 16-inch barrel, how fast are they going to be coming out of that 16-inch barrel?
Interesting. I would state, yeah, not as fast as a Civic, but I know I'm so funny. Yeah, I forgot to laugh. I know.
Yeah, yeah. It was a delayed. It was a delayed laugh. It was kind of like one of those Polish jokes.
Oh,
Reading the Scotsman says, "There's a surprise. Rob eating a salad."
had one last night too, man.
Wood says, "Is the Civic going downhill?" Yeah. So it was the
Yeah.
Civic that hit the neighbor's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely going downhill, backwards.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't seem to care, so good conversation. Actually, they probably gonna have to paint their house shortly, so I guess it was a work thing. Worked out good.
So what you're saying is you damaged their house so that they would have to hire you to repaint it.
No, that's funny though when you think about it like that. But no, that's not the case. I hit the foundation part, so um, basically you couldn't even tell. So when I showed them, they had no idea, and I had to point it out, and they were more concerned if I was okay or whatnot. And then we noticed a tree limb on the roof that led to one thing to another, and then the next thing you know, this house looks this color and it's not supposed to be. So, I'm gonna need to get this repainted, and well, one thing leads to another. So,
Yep. Tim S says, that's like if you shoot a dildo out of a cannon, which would hurt worse, the speed or the girth?
oh gosh, I thought you were trying to keep a clean chat. You know how hard I've been. Like, well, oh god, never mind. How hard it's been to not say certain things. Jeez.
Oh. Yeah.
That's funny.
Ozzy says, I have 9mm Extreme Defender 1475. So, yeah. I threw the link out there.
Chat got anything out there they've been talking about mistakes maybe they've made, or are these all YouTube superstars that can't miss blindfolded with their hand in a grinder?
What Woods talked about buying the wrong ammo,
Okay.
So,
I'm not the only one. Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but at least Woods is man enough to admit it.
Knock on wood, I haven't bought the wrong ammo. But I've had other, come on, I had the barrel nut issue.
Have you ever bought accessories that didn't fit or something like that?
Oh yeah, I've bought the wrong damn, accessories for firearms, and it's like, oh crap. Oh well. Guess I gotta go buy this firearm now.
Okay. I haven't done that, but I would state my sights that I like. Let me start off by saying I like them, but I was a little thrown off in a sense. just initially. After I spent a little bit of time and thought about it, I still recommend them and would highly recommend them. But yeah, there was a difference between switching from my factory sites over to aftermarket. The install, that's a whole nother story. But basically, the airspace that you get, you know what I mean? How you got a little bit of room or a bit of room or whatever. Well, the factory were better for longer distance. I'll put it that way. So, but am I really supposed to be trying to shoot 100 yards with a shield? I mean, is that practical in self-defense? Probably not. Maybe in the perfect situation or something, but me and my daughter used to challenge each other all the time, and we had a hell of a time. You know, even shooting at SIM cards and stuff, and it's pretty good. Swap those sights over, and it changed. It was a little different. so, I've gotten to the point now where I can hit, pretty good with them, but there's a lot more air. But it's a quicker acquisition. It's meant for self-defense. It's not meant to try to reach your little concealed carry, small, comfortable size gun out to, a rifle range. It could do it before. Would I possibly take a shot like that now? Maybe, depending on the situation. But can I guarantee I'm going to hit you in the chest instead of the shoulder? No, not at that distance. So where before I would have been willing to place a bet on it. So there is differences that, I really didn't think about when I did the switch. So I wouldn't switch back in a sense because, that's initially not what this gun was designed for. It's not the intent of the gun. So, I'm perfectly fine within self-defense ranges and probably a bit further. So I don't think there's any problem with it. That's why I still recommend it. But there was a difference that I didn't consider. And, if you want to call that a screw up or a mistake, maybe, because it threw me through a loop. Lost confidence real quick, and that's a bad feeling. I don't know if anybody out there has ever come across something similar, but when you're good at something and all of a sudden things are wrong, that's a bad feeling. So, it took a little extra time, work, practice to get back to close to where I was, but it's a different item. It's if that makes sense.
Yeah, and so let's kind of talk about that because I know with this you're talking about the True Glow TFX
Pros. Yep.
Yeah, the pros.
They have not tarnished. They have not dulled. None of that shit. I bash them daily, and they still look like new.
So that's for anyone that doesn't know. Those are the tritium fiber optics, and he runs them on his M&P, which okay, whatever. I think the sights cost more than his firearm did.
Oh, bitch.
And then I run them on my Glock, and but again, does it mean that anything's wrong? No. So when you're used to like your factory sights, say you run your firearm for years, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what?
Years and years and years.
Yeah. So like you get used to here's these factory sights or whatever sights, and you're used to running those for like say like 5 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden you switch to a new sight. So it's going to take you time to get used to those and to get back to being able to have the same trust and faith in those sites as you did your original sites, which you weren't great with when you first got them. when you first got that firearm, you didn't just run out to the range and start shooting, 100-yard bullseyes with your pistol. So, it took you, some time of practicing and getting used to that before you were able to start stretching the firearm out. And if you didn't stretch your firearm out, you're not, okay, I'm only going to shoot 20 yards max. But I started out with a 10-inch target, and now I'm shooting a 1.5-inch target at 20 yards. You didn't just run out there and start with, your 1.5-inch target. So again, it takes time getting used to new things, and so we've got 223 DMR and MCK that have jumped in out there. So, welcome. And the gun toting pacifist says, those are my favorite sights. Yeah. And so if you go from, let's say, if, you're used to, the TFXs, the pros, and all of a sudden, you get you decide, I'm going to try these big dot sights. You're not going to shoot the same as you were shooting with your other sights until you get used to them. So
you notice a difference yourself?
oh yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
How
did it make you feel? One
yeah.
day you're doing great. You got this new stuff. You're gonna go out, probably make a video, and you're like, "Oh shit, what happened?"
Yeah. At first, when you first, you're like, "Damn it, I can't find that," because they're just not the same. They're not the same colors. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And so you have to, practice. Okay. And it's just like if you've never had a red dot, and then you get a firearm that has a red dot. Guess what? Getting used to, okay, the red dot. Oh, there it is. Trying to find the red dot. You don't go chasing the red dot. You're supposed to try making the red dot come into your. So.
That's cool. I wonder if gun toting pacifists out there notice a difference from swapping over. So again, I don't want people to think it's these sites. It's just the profiles are different. It's just what it is. So
G-Web says, question: what if felons can have their guns back after time served, but they don't get any sights? Well, if you listen to Patriot in the Dark, sights and optics are just a fad, and they're overrated. And I have a video from like a year or two ago where I was shooting a firearm that had 0 sights on it. That's when I got the Rock Slide USA slide, which in my opinion is a piece of crap. I'll never do that again. I took it out before I put any sights on it. I took it out and shot it. And I was still able to hit the target. So you can still use the firearm to defend yourself even if you don't have sights on it.
Yeah, I believe you can within typical ranges. I obviously would be against that because I think if you're, as we've stated before, if you're safe enough to be on the street with an automobile, somebody's child, coworkers, farm equipment, whatever, you should be safe enough to carry a gun, in my opinion. But I would rather see, it being push that you want the best of everything because, maybe you got to take a hostage, shot or something. I mean, I would rather people were running around with aftermarket triggers and aftermarket sights or whatever. I want it to be the best it could be for you because maybe that's what's going to save my ass, personally. So I just, there's a lot of debate and criminally and this and that and what aspect, but I, personally got no problems. If you shoot a race gun like nobody's business, then I'd prefer you carry that damn race gun personally. Will it look crazy? Sure, maybe. Maybe people call it a little extreme. Are you gonna have problems in court? Probably. I don't know, but I don't think it should be that way. I think, like anything, you can go down to, a Honda Civic versus, Ferrari on the road. One can do a hell of a lot more than the other. Does it mean you're gonna misuse it? No. But yeah, I'd like the person that has to take that risk on their life, on somebody else's life, their freedom, to feel 100% confident in taking a shot.
And so, new name out there for me, which is Tactical Hatchet Wound. Says lots of belly guns come with no sights. I wouldn't really say that they're no sights. Most of them come with like that gutter sight.
Little gutter thing.
Yeah, they have that like gutter sight. And again, it's pretty much like just pointing and shooting. You're not going to be using that one to try taking a 100-yard shot.
I call those get off me guns personally. Like, a lady's getting cornered at her vehicle in a parking lot after work or something like that. That's what I think this idea. Not that it couldn't happen to a man. You're still saying get off me, maybe for different purposes, but that's basically how I look at those. And maybe fun on the range with friends trying to hit something that's beyond reasonable, things like that. But usually those guns aren't fun to shoot though. So that's kind of a problem. That's why I don't really go down like to pocket size personally. So
yeah. So we got Alaska 180 out there. Welcome. Defense Dad says, I've seen some of you guys shooting video. Living proof sights don't help. Wow. He must be talking about you, Rob.
maybe, but yeah, I just run it as is. So, and who knows, maybe being underestimated could be a good thing. I'm not claiming that's what it is, but real life, once in a while, I drop a mag. So, what am I going to take it out? Am I trying to be? I can't even think of that guy's name now. Jeez, whatever. Yeah, guy, who's that tactical guy? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Should.
Ghost Tactical?
No. I'm
I know.
Big guy. It wasn't the NRA guy, Colin Moore. Said Grand Thumb. Am I trying to come out like a freaking Saturday night movie? No, because I've seen real life, and real life doesn't go smooth. Shit happens. People slip. Things happen. You don't always get the best position. You don't get 30 takes. Your grandmother can look like Rambo with a good enough editor and crew. So that's not real. I'm not. I don't know. I try to keep it real. So real isn't always pretty.
Yep. Moo says he's been on a lookout for a sea camp in 380.
Like those videos where people are sighting in a new rifle. Okay. They're shooting long range. They're sighting in a new rifle and they hit every time right off the jump. Like they don't have to walk it in. They don't have to, adjust anything. It's just perfect out the box every time. Kind of strange how that works because, geez, I've never really seen that in real life.
So G-Web says there are grandmas that have served multiple tours in the desert at this point. Yep. 223 says I don't want my grandma looking like Rambo.
That'd be a badass granny, man. Let me tell you. Ain't nobody gonna screw with her in the supermarket. You know, some people like that stuff. I mean, it sells, obviously. Like that Grand Thumb guy. I mean, geez, I don't know. He's got millions of viewers and everything. Yeah, it looks good. It sells, but yeah, it's just not reality, in my opinion. It might be. It's like John Wick. It's what you would strive, what you would hope, but you know, in some case, he's going to slip on a piece of glass. He's not going to get the perfect hit in or whatever. You know, things happen. Yeah. There's skill and then luck and, you know, Murphy's Law. So there's just a lot going on. Don't take anything for granted.
The Scotsman says kind of like these car shows on TV, magically all the upgrades and repairs done in 45 minutes or less.
Oh, yeah. Or what, these doctor shows? I mean, have you ever had an experience like that in a hospital? I know next time I'm going in there, I'm looking for the storage room because they got some action going on in there. Or the crime ones, those really get me. You know, I don't want to kill people with statistics, but yeah, the average crime doesn't get solved in 30 minutes with commercials. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? It just really doesn't. CSI, most departments don't have that kind of funding. That's not a thing. Like if it's a high end murder case, something, the mayor's kid or something, yeah, there might be more into it. You know what I mean? But a lot of things get sent out and it takes a lot of time, or they don't even have the funding. I mean, shit, when my house was robbed, the people, I was out of town for a while, and this was a long time ago with an ex, which I'm sure it had something to do with her, but that's a whole nother story. Owing people money or whatever. But say that they hung out in there. You know what I mean? Like they took their time, stole all my bags and shit, stacked stuff up that they were gonna take, didn't take, all this type of stuff. Used my bags to haul everything out. Each pack lifetime warranty bags. Still pissed about that shit. You think they fingerprinted anything? I had to damn near force them to take something to print. I still ain't heard shit. Like, real life don't work that way. But I think that's a big problem with society. Everybody's on this fairy tale kick, or what do you call it, TikTok kick. In real life, without the filters and makeup and all this shit, life don't look like that. They want you to think it does, so it keeps people honest, but it don't work like that.
I haven't found one thing in real life that works just like it does on TV.
Crap, look at the burger commercials or the ads. When do you get a burger out the drive-thru that looks like it does on the commercial? Just doesn't happen.
So, Defense Dad says, is it bad that it's only 6:30 and I could go to bed? 3.5 hours of sleep last night didn't cut it. So, and we all know that the only time zone that truly matters is Pacific time. We don't care about that Eastern metric time. Y'all fuckers are crazy.
I don't think it's nuts that he's tired. Everybody's body's a little different, so depending on your situation, yeah, not a big deal. So it happens.
Andy says Alaska time, which is an hour behind Pacific time. Just for, people that don't know. So, Big P says, New York Outcast. I was thinking the same thing the other day when I stopped at MD's and picked up a couple sandwiches on the way home. One was lopsided and smashed flat.
Yep. Oh yeah. Bunch of false advertising, the way I see it. I mean, it's just like the dating market nowadays. All these, younger people with the apps and all this stuff, man. Like, I don't know. It should be a crime. Would girls be okay if guys walked around with sausages in their pants? I don't know, man. Well, I'm sure we've all had a night where we woke up and wanted to chew our arm off, but yeah, it didn't look like that the night before. I can tell you that much. Maybe I'm just too honest. I think that's the problem. I'm too honest for you too.
Probably. Yeah.
All those cases, they were 12.
So, 223 DMR says, that is right, Rob. Just like a Chevy commercial also. I like to see somebody drop a Chevy truck in real life and nothing fall out from under it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. If there was a big eye in the sky, which I'm sure there is, they may or may not have seen me accidentally take my truck off a 8-foot culvert, land in a stream, landed kind of sideways and bounced back up to the tires, but I did lose a step, to the steps that's connected into the bottom. So, but other than that, drove right on out in the winter, out the creek bed, through somebody's yard, and continued on. Not a problem.
My question is anyone seen that new Ford Ranger Raptor commercial?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I threw a post up about that. Almost seems suicidal for a company at this point. I don't understand what the hell they're thinking. The part I guess that really bugs me is the white and pink. So, I made a statement earlier. I don't know. People can do what they want to do, but when you start thinking you're something you're not, then you got a problem. Yeah. Or when you start forcing everybody else to identify you as something you're not, I think you got a problem. Personally. So, but I don't know. That to me, it seems crazy. So, and when you look at the percentage of people that are that way for state, I mean, it's what, a fraction of a percent in reality. Of course, if you watch TV, every TV show, everybody's gay or trans or something. You know what I mean? Every damn show out, they got to put one in, or else they're going to get in trouble or something. So, but real life, it ain't that way. I mean, shit, there's a couple of gay guys live next door. All right, I ain't got no problems with them. There's one in the family through the lady side. I ain't got no problems. Shit, hey, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he'd kick most of your asses. Veteran. I don't, but when you start saying you're something you're not, something's wrong with your ass. And then supporting that and promoting it, That's a problem. Personally, I think something's wrong.
Defense Dad says, if you drop a Chevy, what falls out are all the Fords trying to hitch a ride.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm curious in that the Helix there, that's anything truly like the old one, because I highly doubt it. The way things are made nowadays and everything, highly doubt it. And also curious in the new truck Toyota's coming out with that's supposed to be 20K, 2022, 23. That's something I would see as worth actually buying a new vehicle if it's any good, personally. 20K for a pickup I can use for work sounds like a deal to me. 50 grand for something I'm going to throw tree stumps in, gravel, all this stuff, drive through people's yards with stuff scratching on it. No. That's not okay for me.
so I know Toyota was talking about, I think in their Tacoma, which is their smaller pickups, starting next year, they're going to bring back the manual transmissions.
Nice.
So that interests me. If you're going to put a 6-speed in there, okay. The only thing I ask is don't make it 14 miles a gallon, because gas prices are fucking horrible. And
Stick would be better, probably. So I'd assume they're going to get better than that off a mid-sized truck these days. So, and as soon as you swap over to a stick, it gets even cheaper. Depending how you drive, I will get that. Some days my car, it seems like I never had to put gas in. Other days I got to put gas in, but I'm pushing it. You know what I mean? But it's all on what you're doing in a sense. Same thing with brakes, shit like that. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons of different things. But usually you can get better mileage with a stick depending how you drive. Brakes will be cheaper. You don't have to change them as much. If you're not an idiot or teaching new people how to drive, you don't have to worry about clutches so much. Eventually it will go, but let me tell you, clutch is a lot cheaper than a transmission. And everybody seems to forget automatic transmissions. Well, not all of them, but most of them are filled with clutches, and they're like super freaking thin. Like, I don't know, you look up a video or something. They're freaking tiny. So, some wrong shit, you got problems. You don't wait till the car comes to a full stop before you change gears from reverse to drive. You can end up with problems. I mean, there's a lot of shit people do don't even think about. Well, they talk shit about manual. So I don't know. But there's no right or wrong for state, but I think you can get away cheaper with a stick in the long run, personally.
I do prefer the manual transmission, and it's pretty fun. I mean, when you're driving a automatic, you just put it in drive and you go down the road and you never think about it again.
Mm-hmm.
When you're driving a manual transmission, you're thinking about, okay, well, I got to get ready to shift. I can hear the RPMs changing. You don't even have to be looking at your speedometer. Oh, you can just be listening to your motor and know when to shift. If you get used to your car.
Yeah, I think once you're used to it, you don't think about it at all. Somebody cuts me off, I'm dropping a gear and gone. Like, I don't think about it. It's just happened. You know what I mean? But it's because that's what you're used to. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can control the power, and I've seen this be a good thing in situations. climbing steep hills in the winter. Now it's not such a big deal unless you're driving a rear wheel drive car, but that overdrive kicks in. You're going up a steep hill, better hold the hell on. Even front wheel drive, I've seen people banging off the curbs all the way up a damn hill because the tires just want to start spinning. But you can kick that up. Say instead of second on that hill, you're riding third or possibly fourth, depending on how fast you're going. You got a lot less torque. The tires aren't just going to take off spin like that. It's more controllable to me, in my opinion. Even coming to a fast stop, sure, you can lock up your brakes, but you can. I think it can be more controllable other ways. You know what I mean, with a stick in a sense. So I don't know, but yeah, everybody's different. So, and I've also had a car that a friend had, an identical car. His was automatic, mine was stick, and mine would stomp the shit out of his. Just same factory vehicles, but it would just stomp the shit out of that automatic. But you like to try all the time.
Yep, because your automatics have a computer generated shift point, and they're not going to let your RPMs get. Most of the time, it's not going to get into your red zone. Where when you're running a manual, you're completely in control of that.
A lot of them, newer ones, have rev limiters in a sense, most, but you can still stretch it a lot further than automatic. You got more leeway there for sure. I know mine will start spitting, like it'll sound like blah, blah, like change gears, and you might see a flame pop out the back. Could be a puff of smoke. I mean, but that's like pushing it. Should you really drive that way? Probably not, but
That's because the rubber band is wrapped too tightly around that hamster in the Honda.
Hey man, 125s are fun. People talk shit till that power band kicks in.
Yeah. When I had my 300 turbo, I don't know how many Hondas tried running me, and I got so tired of it that I would just completely embarrass them and four-way flash them. Guess what? You're just not even in the same league.
Yeah, it can be that case. So, I mean, there's also the extremes out there. You can look around and see cars that shouldn't destroying Lamborghinis, Ferraris, GTRs. It's all about what you do to them in a sense. So, personally, I think it's more fun to go fast in a slow car. And I know that's crazy, but when everything's shaking and rattling and vibrating, that's when you get those smiles, man. When it's just do like a Sunday drive, where's the fun? Honestly, where's the fun?
If you take, like Mickey Thompson when he was at his prime, you put him behind the wheel of a Ford Pinto in a manual transmission, and you take the average Joe, and you put him behind the wheel of a Bugatti Veyron, my money's going on Mickey and that Ford Pinto.
Yeah. Is there turns involved or something? Because I mean, I'm with you to a point. I think skill has a huge effect, skill and nerve. I'll fit through places so close. Paint might have been missing, or other people are hitting a brake. I don't know, but yeah. So definitely, but at a certain point, I mean, if you're talking a straight track, that dude's toast. Like a 125, I can run 250s all day long in tight trails in the woods. I get on a damn power line or something, they're gonna stomp the shit out of me. It just is what it is. There's nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? So, but around town, something like that. Oh yeah, because I can be all the hell out the whole damn time. They can't. It's just there's a difference. So, but it all depends. But in general, I get what you're saying. But when you step it up from a Pinto to a Bugatti, I got to start asking what you're drinking, buddy.
So we have Gunpowder Beauty out in the crowd. Welcome. She's been here for a while. We've been chatting. So Garage Guy 879's out there also. So don't want anyone feeling like I'm not paying attention to them. So we see you out there. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I had fun talking about how I screwed up. And, felt like a damn newbie. And, at least everything worked out good. So, there's still a lot of great companies out there. Some aren't so great. We just got to weed them out,
Oh yeah. Vote with your dollar, people. Vote with your dollar. Take care of the ones that take care of you.
Yes, and Scotsman did point out I did forget MCK out there, and I don't think MCK heard when I talked about that I picked up an AR-15 PCC Chamberlain 40 Smith & Wesson, and then I ended up thinking there wasn't a barrel nut on the firearm. Come to find out, the barrel nut was just tight in the handguard, but the handguard spun off easily. So now I get to go and tighten up that barrel nut, lock it in place. Should be pretty fun. I'll put some white lithium grease on there and torque that down to like 30 plus foot-pounds of pressure on there. We'll get her locked in place. Garage Guy says Uncle Jim wussed out tonight.
I think
Hell
we had
no.
pretty. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, G-Web says, did you buy the gun because Gizzard did a PCC show the other week? No, I bought the gun and fucking over a month ago. I was like 5-6 weeks ago. I bought it and back on the 6th of April. It just took 5-6 weeks for the 4473 to come back. And yeah, nope. It's shit. I haven't watched a Gizzard Gary live stream in so long. It's not even funny. There's issues there. It is what it is. I don't deal with clicks. Not in fucking high school. And if that's the way you want to be, I don't got time for you. Truly, I don't.
Holy shit. Somebody on YouTube with some balls to say how they feel about something?
It's when we start going with a lot of clicks and bullshit, and you want to deal with that kind of stuff, all we're going to do is end up dividing the community, and we're never going to get stuff going. Now, if we want to come together and be like, hey, guess what? you know, if you don't like Glocks, who cares? If you don't like fucking high points, who cares? If we all get together and, have a good time, talk firearms, whatever, it is what it is. But if that's the way you want to be, peace. I'm not gonna fucking deal with you.
Right here has been like gold in YouTube. Just want to say that. Like, all you guys should throw $1 in the tip jar out there, because you don't hear shit like this every day.
You know?
I think it's funny, the topic, that nobody else wants to show up, because they're all perfect. Mm-hmm.
Timothy says, "Can't we all just get along?" Yep. There you go, Bald. G-Web says 9mm divides. Yep. It can be divisive.
I don't know if you're shooting axe heads. You got the confident people, and then you got the ones that, got to compensate for something.
I'll agree with Scotsman. A 45 Colt is a great caliber. So, Bald and Curious out there whining. Throw the link out again. I throw the link out. He still doesn't have the stones. What's going on, Travis?
Hey, kids. How we doing?
Not bad.
Right.
What's
Welcome.
this topic of which you guys are speaking? I just got nothing, man. I've been filming all freaking day. We're good.
So, we first started out talking about how I kind of felt like a newbie because I picked up a AR in Chamberlain 40 Smith & Wesson, a PCC, and I went to move the vertical grip to a different location because I didn't like where it was, and when I did, the handguard moved, so I spun it off, and I was like, what the hell? There's like no barrel nut, nothing. I didn't look in the handguard to find out that there was a barrel nut sitting in there, and that it just wasn't cranked down in place. So I felt like a pretty fucking newbie, and then we ended up talking about how clicks in the 2A realm are going to divide the entire 2A instead of bringing it back together to try to advance our cause.
Well, man, it's going to be hard to get past the fact that some people just don't like other people for whatever reason. And I know we need to look past that because we're talking about our freedom here. But as human beings, at times we are selfish and we kind of put ourselves first. And it is sad that happens. But I really think that, when it comes down to it, when it comes to things like writing our senators or going to rally or trying to get some support for one another for a common cause. I mean, I think we do come together, but I mean, clicks are things that happen all the way in grade school, all the way through life, man. You just can't get away from that stuff, I don't know. I think it's not good, but at the same time, it's kind of human nature. It's hard to get past that kind of tribalism that happens amongst our own,
Yeah, I don't write my senators or none of that shit because I'm in fucking New York, so whatever I do does not matter.
Come to Nebraska, we'll take care of you. We got plenty of room. Bring New York Outcasts with you.
Where the fuck is Nebraska? Jesus Christ.
Exactly. It's the best place you've never been to, brother. Hey, good eat for everyone. I don't know, one of the biggest beef producing states in the world, acres and acres of open land, lots of places to go shooting, hundreds of public hunting areas you can go to, lots of ranges. Constitutional carry's kicking into September finally. I mean, it's a beautiful place, man.
And it's true constitutional carry, not modified like Florida.
Yeah, we allow anybody from any state that can legally carry a firearm to carry in our state. Which I don't know if North and South Dakota do that also, but I think Kansas and Oklahoma do also. Because some places would also require you to have a carry permit for your own state.
You would think that shit would be like as much as they're pushing for universal background checks, you would think they would also push for the national reciprocity. I mean, for crying out loud, in this fucking state to get a goddamn pistol permit, the hoops you got to jump through, especially now after the latest SCOTUS decision, our beloved governor stuck the fucking Supreme Court a middle finger and came up with their own fucking rules. And so it costs you almost $1,000 and takes you freaking forever to get your pistol permit. All kinds of background checks and bullshit and training and whatnot. At that point, that should be recognized all over the United States, just like my driver's license. But no, this is fucking New York. You get your pistol permit, and even after all this bullshit, and it says on the permit, it's pistol permit for New York State pistol permit. That shit does not apply in New York City.
Well, the whole system's basically set up so people want to commit crimes and do illegal things with their guns and not go through the proper procedures. And, they want that because on the more crime you have, the more you can regulate and the more you can disarm the populace. It's a pretty easy cycle. If you want to control people, you just got to find the right primer for it, I mean, what other reason is there to make it that restrictive,
So since you're on the panel, and I know we're, 2 weeks away, roughly, there's something happening in Nebraska I hear rumblings of. You want to talk about that, Travis?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I had to get my dog a little piece of chicken here. Yeah, man, Thunder in the Prairie's kicking in here first weekend in June. I think we've got at least 10, if not more, YouTube channels are going to be there, not counting people coming with them. It's going to be at Nebraska Shooters in Firth, Nebraska. It is a firearms instruction school. Got a lot of sponsors on board. Got an ammo sponsor, which is great. We got Monstrum Tactical donating optics. We've got Cleanse Oil donating a massive box of stuff. Blackout Coffee Companies donating coffee, not Black Rifle, but Blackout. They did that last year too. I've been to Blackout since the beginning, since they first started up. Just lots of good stuff, man. The bigger thing is everybody gets together, everybody gets to network and have a good time and just shoot a lot of guns and go home happy. And I don't know. I mean, it's $25 per day. And our cost on it basically is just Defense Ed and I are not getting anything monetarily out of this other than maybe making a few videos from the stuff the sponsors are sending to us. So we're not in this to make money at all. In fact, a lot of it's coming out of our own pocket because we want it to happen. But it's going to be good. It's going to be a good time, man. It's just kind of our own little mini range day, and anybody's invited.
What's the zip code?
68. Wow, crap. Whatever Firth is. 68512 is mine. The Lincoln's got like 6 of them. We'd have to look up Firth, Nebraska.
That's okay. That's close enough.
Yeah. It is. What is it here? No, 68358. You guys are interested. That is just a small farm community, South Lincoln, Nebraska, south of our capital. So, I mean, it's mostly farmland. It's got a very small downtown. You have that in Nebraska. You have a lot of small communities that are basically a couple grain elevators and a gas station and a co-op, and that's it. That is the community. They might have a post office.
Hey, Outcast, it's only 20-hour drive for me. I can probably pick you up on the way.
Do it, man. Do it. Hey, we have people coming in from
pick up Scotsman. Hell,
there you go.
We can stop by in Iowa and pick up Allen.
And okay, Defense Dad said we still have a couple spots in the bunkhouse, so we do have lodging for you guys. It's free will donation. There is no set charge if you want to stay at the range. They've got a bedroom, bathroom, full kitchen, multiple coffee makers. Everything you want, man.
I heard there was a pool table.
Yeah, there's one upstairs. They got a bar upstairs. Yeah, it's pretty tight, man. I mean, it is just it is basically a bunkhouse. It looks kind of like something simple. It's got a nice couch area, radio, TV. It's all air conditioned, climate controlled. It's nice.
I'm
Oh,
horrible at
that-
pool, but if anybody wants to gamble, let me know.
Nah, man, you're the kind of guy that's going to take everybody's money. I know that.
hey,
Nah,
it could be ammo. I'm not picky.
Hey, there you go.
Just
Well,
wait
I don't
till
know.
I start drinking. Now I'll take all your money.
Yeah, it's a change of scenery for people. If you're used to having stuff around you all the time, it's not this whole wide open spaces concept thing. And sometimes people just find it boring. I think it's beautiful.
So-
It's nice to have land. You can go do whatever you want. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. You know, it's a good feeling.
So Travis,
Yo,
I heard that Nebraska was like the head where they send everybody from Witsec because no one's ever going to look for them there.
everybody from what?
What's
Witsec,
that? Witness
witness
protection.
protection.
Oh, witness protection. Maybe. I mean, we have isolated places where nobody will ever hear you scream. So I suppose that's possible. I mean, it is pretty sparse, but then again, so is Kansas, and so is Eastern Colorado. So I mean, the whole kind of Great Plainsy area, Midwestern areas like that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That would not surprise me. In fact,
And
I did find out.
Hey Rob, your 96 Honda will make it 13.
Oh yeah, dude.
1,350 miles.
I made it to Florida, Thousand Islands. Let's see, Maryland a few times.
You changed the timing belt on it at all or not?
What's that?
Have you done a timing belt change on it yet?
I haven't. It's actually sitting downstairs in the hall right now.
Okay, that's
Water
probably one
pump
thing
timing
you
belt.
want to do before you hit. That's the one thing that always breaks on any epic road trip. It's a damn timing belt, and then your motor's gone, unless it's a non-interference engine. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they are.
You make a good point.
Yeah, it's especially if you're pushing over, say, 120,000 miles. I know there's somebody out there going, "Well, Honda's got 200,000. I've never changed them." You're supposed to do, I think, every 60. So I just would.
120,000 miles. That car had 120,000 miles 15 years ago.
I know. I'm surprised it hasn't shredded itself. But I'm just saying, you put that much stress on it and heat and stuff, and it could pop at that point. You'd want to get it done before you go.
Yeah, the motor was rebuilt before I bought it. And instead of just believing them, I actually dropped the pan, actually inspected it all because
so they would have put a new belt on at that point. How many miles ago was that? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at paperwork, honestly. So
but yeah, I wouldn't push it. I've never any car ever had that required a timing belt. I think I usually did it every 60. But there are people that take it to 100. And the engine could go to 100. Depends on the motor. I mean, some of them, like my Hyundai's has a timing chain. It doesn't actually have a belt, so you don't have to worry about it on some engines. But yeah.
Hey, Robbie, it's really easy. We'll meet up in Scranton, and we'll just head down 81 to 80, and then it's a straight shot all the way to Nebraska. Hell, 1,300 miles, 1,350 miles will take my truck, probably $2,000 in gas.
Take the Beamer.
That's my daughter's.
Man, all I got to do is get gas at Costco's along the way. We're $3.15 a gallon. You guys split it 4 ways. That's nothing, man. Just go cheap. Just bring like a package of microwave burritos with you, and
swap the Beamer with the truck for the 2 days.
Nah, we need a lot more than 2 days. We need 2 days just for travel there and back.
Yeah,
it's 20-hour drive.
There you go.
That's easy.
That's a day. Especially if
you're about 8 or 9 hours, and you're like, God, this sucks.
Spreading it over different drivers. That's 1 day. The only reason to stop is for gas and bathroom breaks, really.
Well, that's
there's no question there. We can make it in a day. I'm not questioning that.
I drive myself to Florida in a day, or can. So the lady isn't going for that shit. She wants a hotel halfway, but I got no problems. I'd out to Wyoming, not in a day, but I ain't stopping at a hotel and shit.
No, I don't.
Cost money.
I don't do that. I don't do that shit either. Worst case scenario, I'll take a little power nap in the fucking truck. That's all. But
I drove from Washington to South Carolina, 3.5 days. But yeah, 20 hours. Shit, all you need is 2 drivers. If you could 10 hours each, you're good.
Yeah, it depends on when you guys I mean, it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. We're going to do, and then so Saturday in the morning, we're having like a Top Shot style competition about the first half of the day. Then we're providing lunch for everybody, and then we're going to shoot after that from probably we'll do our drawings after lunch, and then from pretty much like 1 to 5, we'll have open range where people just blast away and have a good time. We got 4 different areas people can shoot at: steel targets, regular bays.
When is it? When is it?
First weekend in June, the 3rd and 4th.
All right. What's the closest airport?
Omaha. Well, Lincoln. I mean, Lincoln's more expensive to fly into, but Omaha's closer. But you'd have to get a car when you get here.
Yeah, you ain't got time to get a decent price on a ticket.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to pick you guys up because Defense Dad and I are going to be RSO duties. Plus, we're going to be hauling food out there on Friday night. People are already showing up Friday night for it to get checked in. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be basically stuck at the range all day. So, I mean, I'm renting a car myself just so I don't have to worry about weather beating the hell out of my car because it's very dicey that time of the year. And then also I need a bigger vehicle to haul everything out there. It's my little cars. I'd have to take like 3 trips to do it. So I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to rent a vehicle that weekend.
One more time. June what?
June 3rd and 4th. It's a Saturday and Sunday. G-Web says, if I'm watching the live stream of Thunder on the Prairie from home, is my lunch also covered? Yeah, G-Webs, I'm going to give you a voucher for a free frozen burrito. You can go get that up at your local Kroger, and you're all set to go. So, yep.
Well, since you two are showed up, do you guys have any mistakes you've made after being a firearms owner? Possibly examples, buying the wrong ammo or buying the wrong accessory or thinking something was together and wasn't.
I tried to disassemble my AR and cleaned it. When I put it back together, I reversed the bolt in it. So when it shot, it tried to extract into the left side, which pushed it into the receiver, which locked the gun. I couldn't get it. That, and then the second time I took a buddy out of mine that was actually from Spain. He had never fired an AR-15 before. You can have some guns in Spain, but it's much more restricted than here. We went out there and had a freaking case of Tula. We're about 5 rounds in, and the damn AR, the extractor tore the rim off the shell, and it pushed the shell like into the shell kind of got stuck in the barrel, and we couldn't get the shell out because there's no rim on the back of it. And of course, I didn't bring a cleaning rod with me, like a single piece cleaning rod to tap it out like I normally do. So that pretty much ended our range. We did have some pistols with us and had fun, but I felt kind of an idiot. So I'm hyping him up all week. I'm like, yeah, man, we're gonna get, give you a little taste of America, do some shooting. He's all pumped up, and then again, 5 rounds in, it's like blank. It's like, what the hell?
Welcome to America.
After that, since then, every day. And you know what's funny? I've never once needed a 1-piece cleaning rod ever since then, but I keep one in the back of my vehicle just in case.
That's Murphy right there. That's
God,
Murphy.
it made me so mad. Yeah. Now, Defense Dad said it's called Thunder on the Prairie because I buy burritos by the case. I don't anymore. But yeah, if it has to do with refried beans, you best to run. So, yep.
All right, it's cheaper to drive, Robbie. The plane ticket's like $600.
Oh yeah,
guys, you get your gas at Costco for $3.15 a gallon, so we'll hook you up.
Yeah, usually if you planned a few months in advance, you can get a deal. But whenever you're talking last minute on flights, you're going to pay for it.
Guns can be a bit of a pain in the ass to transport. I mean, I wouldn't worry. You guys can do it, but if you don't have to worry about those, I mean, we got plenty here for you guys. I got a whole freaking arsenal. You can take whatever you want, but yeah.
Well, we'd probably be fine on the way out, but coming back into New York, we'd be getting anal inspections.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's why you want to stay away from Iowa.
I heard that's how you have to get what you have to do to be able to get a pistol permit in New York was get an anal inspection twice.
No, that's just how it goes when they're done with you. I don't think they physically do it, but
I got no comment on that.
We like anal inspections in New York. We like getting it up the ass without a KY.
Oh my God. I feel so sorry for you guys.
He speaks for himself. You can clearly see in my how to get a permit video in New York, there's some lube in that thumbnail. Nobody to this day has mentioned it, but there is a package of
by Astroglide, the official sponsor of New York State.
Yeah, well, rules changed now since the new ruling. My son just got his permit on last Saturday. So it took forever. I had to take a 16-hour course, 2 hours live fire course. You know,
Jesus.
that costs like $600. You know, then took forever just to get the appointment for the fingerprints. The whole ordeal took just under a year.
So now I'm going to say one thing about Nebraska that sucks for us. You do have to have a pistol purchase permit if you want to buy a handgun from anybody other than immediate family. If you want to buy it from private or from a store, but you do not have to do background checks if you don't want to on a private sale. You're not required to. All they have to do is present valid identification and the liability is gone.
So how do you obtain that voucher for a pistol purchase?
Yeah, I think it's $8 or something like that. Defense Dad, you can correct me on that. It's $8. It's good for 3 years, and they have to notify you, I think, within maybe 7 days or something. Most people get them. The sheriff's department runs a background check on you, which is ridiculous. But and then Lincoln, Nebraska, where I live, they do have a city ordinance, which I don't know if this is going to go away. I don't think it will. But if you sell a handgun to somebody within city limits, you have to record the sale on one of their registries that they have online, so they know who got the gun, basically. And local ordinances suck. Now that's just in Lincoln. That's not the rest of the state. So yeah, the further you get away from the eastern part, the less we have for restrictions.
Selling handgun and like in New York we have requirements that you can't. There's no private sales anymore. Everything needs to go through FFL. Which on the other hand, if you ask me, it's not that big of a deal. I actually prefer that because that takes the burden of me. God forbid I sell the gun to somebody that I'm not sure or some shit like that. So at that point, that burden is not on me anymore. I don't have to keep records of anything.
Yeah.
Because everything goes back to the FFL. So even if it costs me $20, $25, whatever, to do the sale, it's not a big deal, and it's just so much easier, you know. But to buy the actual pistol over here, so it takes you a year to get your pistol permit. That doesn't mean that you can just go out and buy a pistol. No. You get your pistol permit. Now you go look at the pistol. You pick what you want. You pay for it. The guy hands you a receipt and he locks the pistol in the safe. You take the receipt. You go home. At least in my county, you print up the amendment form. You fill up the amendment form. You send them a copy of the receipt and copy of your pistol license, along with $13 fee or more, depending if you're doing more transaction. You mail that in. You can hand it in person, but that doesn't help. Doesn't make it any faster. You mail it in, and if there's no issues, within about 2 weeks, you're gonna get a package from a sheriff's department that contains your new permit with the make, number, and the serial number of the gun on the back of the permit, and the coupon that you're gonna bring to a gun store to pick up your gun. At that point, you fill up the NIC check form. They'll run your NIC check, and if everything is right, and then you can finally take a possession of your fucking gun.
Dude, I'd be buying bucket list guns if that was the situation. If I had to go through that, I'd be buying like a Cabot Arms or like a freaking high-end CZ or just something ridiculous, you know?
My county is a little easier than that, in a sense. You know, you can go to a gun store. If you've already got a permit, you can go to a gun store, pay for something if you decide, you want it. They give you the receipt. You take that receipt to the sheriff's department. They basically, my permit is a piece of paper with a passport ID photo glued to it. And basically they add it, they throw it in a little typewriter thing from, back in grandma's day, print up the new serial number, make, model, and add it to your permit. And basically you can go back and pretty much pick it up.
When's the last time you bought a pistol?
The Compact 22, so it's been a little while, probably a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years.
You might want to check into that because there might
it could be different now, so I'll state that out there. But that's how it was. But a friend in another county was even a little easier. But here we had to wait. Or they wanted you to wait, but our sheriff's department didn't require it. Other places did, depending where you went. But a friend of mine, it was basically even easier. So like where I had to write a letter requesting permission from, to the judge to do so, to carry, he took the same class I did. We went to the same class together, and his permit was mailed to his house within, I don't know, a week or so, where I still had to wait and hop through hoops and all the stuff, we don't want to talk about to get approved. So,
but I think they changed it in a lot of counties because Ulster County was like that. You were able to just walk in, they would write it in, and you come back and pick up your gun. And they clip them, and they kind of want the same shit to be universal throughout the state. So it's not just a sheriff department; it's the actual judge needs to sign off on the purchase of a new gun.
Do you have different permits in your area, Bald, by any chance? Because here we have blue, green, and yellow.
Every county has a different permit.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the paper one that you're talking about, like I have a buddy that has a paper one, but he didn't buy a pistol in the last probably 15 years. You know, and he had a permit forever. So it's like, the picture he has on it is him fresh out of high school.
Here the colors represent what your restrictions are if you have them. Blue is what most officer security have, which is for work purposes only. So the green is to own one to have at your house to take to the range. So green is the first step. Basically, you advance forward to the blue, and then you advance forward to the other, and that's basically how they pretty much tell you to do it. You can skip the blue if you're just going from home to concealed, but a lot of people here, the misconceptions, I guess, that officers are, the people to train you and this and that, and probably half of them, maybe a little less, don't even own a personal firearm. Or if they do, it's just sitting in a drawer at home. They don't. They run off a blue work permit. Same thing with security. So the yellow one I have is like full access, obviously, except for federal buildings, schools.
We don't have that. Generally, Dutchess County, where I am, only issues concealed carry permit. The only restriction you would have, like I had restrictions on my permit when I applied because I wasn't citizen yet. I only had the green card, so they told me straight up they're gonna give me a restricted permit, which is target and hunting, and so not actual concealed carry. As soon as I got my citizenship, I wrote a letter to the judge. I was like, I just became a citizen. I want to enjoy my constitutional rights, and within a week, I had a new permit in the mail. My son, for example, he got his permit. It's a concealed carry. Westchester County everything used to be just a target and practice. They changed that after the last court's ruling, so they gave them option that you can get the full carry permit, but they had to go and get a 16-hour course and all that shit. In our county, we didn't have to do that because our old permits pretty much got grandfathered in.
Well, I gotta ask, because you're doing a hell of a job dodging the question, Ball. But what mistakes have you made?
Mistakes?
Yeah, as a so-called competitive shooter, seasoned gun owner, what type of foolish things might have you stumbled across or done?
You mean the fuck ups I did? I only had like two major fuck ups. One was completely my fault. One was like sort of negligent. I took my wife shooting. Took my wife and son. My son was in the car actually to the range that I used to go to, and she was shooting my Glock 34 with a 9mm conversion barrel. And she hands me the gun that looked like the Slidey's bag, and she handed me the empty magazine in the other hand, and I grabbed it and I looked at the gun. Looked to me, the slide is back. I didn't look inside the chamber. I dropped the slide. I pointed to the ground, and I squeezed the trigger, and the round went off. So what happened when she handed me the gun? She thought she's all out of ammo, but the last bullet basically somehow lodged in there and held the slide back. And when I pushed the slide release, it actually chambered around. And so rule number one, point in the safe direction. And second major fuck up I had, this is like a private competition, and I brought the wrong gun. I brought my raise gun and the raise holster, and the shit we did, it was a wrong shit for that. And I was a little frustrated, and at the end of the time, I basically, instead of drop the mag and rack the slide and show clear, I somehow managed to keep the round in the chamber after I dropped the mag, and again burned around 3 feet in front of me into the ground. But this was a private event, as long as everybody was safe. And number one rule: Same direction. Always pointing in the same direction. Even if you fuck up, that will save your ass. That's pretty much the only two major screw ups I had. And then I had one pretty major, but it was a reloading screw up. When I was just in my beginning stages, I grabbed the wrong powder, filled up 23 grains of a pistol powder into the 223 case, and I went out and I tried it, and I blew up my brand new Stag Arms AR-15 upper.
Damn, you said a Stag Arm?
Stag Arm. I had a brand new 3-gun upper, beautiful, and it just blew up the upper, blew up the receiver completely. It destroyed the bolt carrier group. The actual bolt, not the bolt carrier group. The bolt. It even cracked the barrel extension. It blew the magazine out of the lower receiver, and kind of swelled the lower. But I was able to kind of squish it back. Actually, I used the same lower till this day. It surprisingly wasn't really even that loud. It wasn't like I shot it. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Thankfully I had the eye in it and all that, so nothing really happened to me. Just a little shock, and then when I looked down, I'm like, oh my fucking god! And then I came home and grabbed the powder that I used, and I figured out what the fuck I just did.
Did you call Stag by any chance? Did you even ask them? Okay, I'm just curious because they are American lifetime warranty. Doesn't matter if it's new or used. If the barrel is shot out or you think it's shot out, they'll swap the barrel out. I mean,
that shit that haven't even crossed my mind. I mean, it was 100%.
Okay, I understand. I mean, it was all you, and I doubt in that situation they would cover that. But I was just curious to see what they say because I own one as well. For the reasons I mentioned, that I can pass it on to my kids, the warranty's still going to be covered. And there's another aspect to the Stag design that I won't say because it'll start a bunch of crap with people, but laws and this and that. But there's they do their mold a little different in the receiver compared to some other companies, which for things we shouldn't talk about, could make other things easier in the future or at a different time. I'll just leave it at that.
So, crap. There was something I was going to say, and now I just completely blanked it. Oh, people are talking about waiting. In Oregon, you're supposed to get your 4473 back in under 30 minutes. That's the law. Now, since COVID, you're talking anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months is you could be on a wait list. But hopefully at some point they pull their head out of their ass and get it back to the way it was, where you could go into any FFL, get your 4473 done, and probably within 10 to 15 minutes, you're walking out the door with whatever you purchased. Now, if it's an NFA item, let's be realistic. It's not going to just happen instantaneous. But for anything else, like if you're buying a shotgun, an AR, an AK, a pistol, whatever, it's going to be, under 30 minutes. So, and, that's the way it's supposed to work. And I really, really, really want them to get back to that. But until we get everything done with ballot measure 113, which passed, but because we have a great constitutionalist judge out in Harney County who told the state to go pound sand and put a TRO on it, they can't implement that. And I think that's kind of more why the state police are kind of dragging their feet on being able to process the 4473s.
That's why Tennessee looks better and better every day. Constitutional carry, they honor everybody's permit from freaking everywhere. As long as you're a law-abiding citizen, you can carry a gun. Go to store, fill up the NIC check form, walk out with a freaking pistol, rifle, shotgun, whatever the hell you want. No restrictions, no nothing. Open carry, anything you want.
Yeah, the Scotsman says, I remember when I started in the gun world, I lived in Oregon, and it was roughly 10 minutes. Yeah. Now you're sitting 5-6 weeks waiting for the 4473 to come back. Now, if you have a great FFL, they're probably going to release the gun after 3 days. Because guess what? Federal law says they can do it, so they do it. Now they've tried. That's one of the things that was in ballot measure 113 was to put a wait period on there, so you'd have to wait like 3 days. And House Bill 2005 in Oregon, they pretty much is everything the ballot measure 113 was, but they added steroids to it. So instead of it being a $65 pistol purchase permit, it's now $165. And instead of your sheriff's department or police department being able to say, okay, well, this company over here, which does, your concealed handgun license training, they can also do the pistol purchase training. That was taken away. They're like, nope, that can't happen. So it's only the police department and the sheriff's department and I think the state police that are going to be able to do the pistol purchase permit, which none of them know how they're going to even be able to do it. Most of them are understaffed. But the Republicans in the Senate have decided to walk out, and so they can't hold a quorum, so they can't pass any of the bills out to send it over to the governor.
Drag their ass back in there, tell them to do their damn job.
No, we want them to stay out. Otherwise, the Democrats can then shove every bill through. If the Republicans show up to work, then the Democrats can just shove everything through. And it won't matter if every Republican votes no, there will still be a majority, so it would then pass. So as of right now, with them not showing up, they can't even push the bills through. So they are going to die in the Senate, and we won't face more anti-2A bills being shoved down our throats.
Isn't that sad? And like in New York, the cops, well, not just cops, technically any law enforcement can buy the handgun on their badge and walk away from the store with it. In other words, the law enforcement have two choices. They can own the gun on their badge, or they can also apply for a concealed carry permit and own the guns under their concealed carry permit. If they do it through concealed carry permit, then they gotta send the amendment just like every other person. But they can go and buy it on their badge and walk away after the NIC check. They walk away from the. I don't think they even do a NIC check, to be honest, and they walk away with the gun from the store.
I'd argue that that's probably not everywhere. That seems a bit different from what I know. But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I wouldn't be shocked in certain places. You know, you see how different things are from county to county. So
Yeah, but
no.
this is a state thing. I've seen NYPD cops come to a gun store, look at a gun, buy it, put it on their badge, and walk away from the store with it. And I'm like shocked and all. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how can they do that? Not only they can have all the shit we can have, they can own the ARs, they can own the 30-round magazines and standard capacity magazines and all the bullshit. They can actually buy. I'm not sure if it's all law enforcement or just the police, but definitely police officers can do that. And it doesn't matter if they're state police, local police, or whatever they are. The police officers can definitely do that. Maybe not like a law enforcement, like a uh, the CO, like correction officers or stuff like that. Maybe not those, but then again, those guys can even carry in New York City. So there's definitely a big difference being a law enforcement and being a regular Joe Blow in this state.
Yeah, I still not 100%, but yeah, maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, but whatever. Yeah, I know there is differences though. They have a total different section in a sense, like when it comes to magazines, things like this. Usually they'll ask you if you're, law enforcement, LEO, whatever. Uh, and that way they know what mags to show you in some cases if they're not on the shelf. Usually those are put in a separate area or section, basically for law enforcement.
That being
From what
said,
I've seen in my area.
That being said, I can't really say that anytime a cop when I get pulled over or something like that, and I hand usually I hand the cop my pistol permit as well because usually I have a gun on me. I mean, you're not required to do so, but I usually do. And never once he asked me to see the gun or see the magazine or anything like that. At the worst, they asked me what it is, and that was about it. Or if I handed the permit, he asked me like which kind you have on you. And that was about it. Never once they wanted to see it or look at the bullets or any of that shit. No, but then again, there was a case back about 5-6 years ago up in Buffalo in that area where the guy got. It was kind of sketchy because the guy got pulled over. He wound up getting charged with a DUI. They towed the car, and when they went and towed the car, they had to do the inventory of the car. He had the safe in the middle console, which was set to a default 000. So they opened the safe and he had a single standard capacity Glock magazine. And he got knocked for that. They got charged with the possession of the deadly weapon or some bullshit like that. The DUI charge somehow went away, so I guess he wasn't that. But that one mag, he wound up with a felony for that. The DA over there just wanted to make the example out of him. And there was a guy on YouTube promoting this stuff, showing what's going on. I forgot what it was, but he got hammered for that big time. And he was a veteran, he was a security officer and whatnot, but he wasn't a law enforcement.
Yeah, you got to be careful. My rule of thumb is not to ever volunteer any information. I know, in some cases you want to be the nice guy, this and that. I've seen that bite people in the ass time and time again. I don't and say anything unless I ask, but they always ask. Is there any drugs, weapons, anything in this vehicle? They always ask, but I don't volunteer shit. I don't tell them no when I do, you know what I mean? But if they don't ask, I'm not going to tell them. And I was actually told that by an officer during a hairy situation one time when I did get stopped. And I did volunteer it because you could kind of see it sticking out my cargo pocket. And it was like 3 a.m. and they thought we just stole my friend's motorcycle, which actually he went out of town, met a girl, got drunk and needed a ride back. So I had to go pick a trailer up, drive way to hell out to Timbuktu, and was courteous of the neighbors in this damn trailer park and didn't want to fire his R1 up out there. So I just rolled it up on the trailer, strapped it down, and they tracked us down over 60 miles and pulled me over. I could see my house from where they pulled me over. And my friend was half drunk and very pissed off that they thought we stole his bike. So, and I'll tell you, people think I'm an asshole. Oh, you've not met an asshole until you met this guy. So it got heated and hot, and the officer was looking around, and I'm pretty sure he saw it. So I made sure to put my hands up and notify him. And he's the officer that told me, unless somebody asks, don't say shit. I'm cool. I don't want to see it. Whatever. You got a permit, I'll see your permit. That's all I want to see. Don't touch the gun. But he said, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of the cops around here don't feel like I feel, so, and basically not a problem. So, and I've been stopped other times leaving Walmart after buying a shitload of ammo. And, they pulled everything out. They're pulling magazines out. They're going through the whole ordeal looking for anything to try to nail my ass.
It's gotta be the area where you live as well, because where I live is
maybe, but that's a 50-50 scenario on both situations. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to lie, but I don't volunteer information. I don't give a shit who you are. That's a bad idea. Do you know why I pulled you over? No idea, officer.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you because you're black, so you're probably being racially profiled. Even though people say that shit is not true. And for two, you kind of live in a shit part of the fucking state. You got a lot of problems.
But to be fair, most of the trouble around here is black people. People calling me all types of shit when I say that, but I'll be honest. Call it what it is, man. It pisses me off because I get bullshit asked why I'm driving down this street and all this bullshit because of some other assholes. It's got nothing to do with me, but I get treated the same. But
I know.
That's the game. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is.
See, what I am is completely different. It's rural. We got a bunch of Mexicans, but really, we don't have. There's not that many black people around here, which I don't really care because my daughter, if she goes somewhere on the playground, there's only one black kid. That's gonna be the first freaking friend she's gonna make. She doesn't care, but it's different. I never once had a cop ask me if I have guns, knives, or drugs in the car. Never had that. But then again, I always treat them with respect. Told my son the same way. You get pulled over, you automatically a threat. You're fucking 6'5", 6'6", 300 something fucking pounds. You look like you put that car on, not that you sit in it. So keep your hands up, be respectful. Yes sir, no sir. I'd rather go pick you up from a fucking jail than from the morgue. So yeah, pretty much it boils down to where you live and how you act. I would say.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. Even like my girl will get me in trouble quicker than shit because she's quick to call people out on stuff. But that's also escalated in the past. But I don't argue with officers on the side of the road. Whether I'm in the right, wrong, clearly in the right, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. You argue in court. And then I get out of court almost all the time. Well, not all, the majority of the time, it gets dismissed in court. So, you know what I mean? It's just,
So,
whoa. You know what I mean? You don't want to argue on the side of the road and escalate stuff. Just deal with it. Court's not that scary, especially if you know what the hell you're doing. So, I mean, they tried to nail me for a new exhaust with a ticket for that like 3 times a couple summers ago. I got out of every single damn ticket.
Let's back up. So you're a black guy, you get out of the freaking ticket at the court with no problem. Yet somehow I managed to get out of the speeding ticket and I pay a parking ticket fine and I'm mobbed up. Okay.
And I'm the fat white guy that's never actually been pulled over before, man.
There's differences. Like I said, that's an infraction or whatever in those cases and stuff where, it's been an issue. I mean, at one time I got it dropped where an officer damn near caused accidents, pulled around and pulled up behind me, pulled a U-turn to pull me over while I'm still sitting at a light wondering what the hell is this guy doing? And that was for an Indian head air freshener in my mom's car when I was going to college. Apparently drug dealers have those. So He gave me a ticket for obstruction of vision and this and that. I went to court, explained my side of it to the court, and they just threw it out. I was clear. So, but you go in there like an asshole and everything's race and blah blah blah. They're after me. Nah, people don't like that shit. You go in there respectable, honest, and give your opinion in a matter that doesn't fit a certain description. You got half a chance, but
they're probably just anti-Christmas. That's why they don't like those Christmas tree air fresheners hanging up. They don't like some officer is bitter that he didn't get his toy when he was little, so it's been with him the whole time.
Maybe you never know, but how you deal with things makes a big difference.
New York
doesn't always work, but makes a difference.
This is probably something that maybe it is a nationwide thing, but I know in Nebraska, if you have a carry permit, that's on file in the officer's vehicle. So when they run your plates, your license, I mean, they know if you have a carry permit or not. I mean, granted, they'll call the plates in ahead of time. So I wonder if the dispatcher says, well, this person is a concealed carrier or not before they walk up to your vehicle. Because here you do have the duty to inform. And I've not been pulled over in 10 years. And so, I mean, I have not had to present my carry permit or my license, or I don't generally hear anything about nervous Nebraska cops or highway patrol. They're generally very professional. And you would almost think that when you tell them you have a carry permit, they should know that you don't want to get in trouble. That's why you have a carry permit. To me, it's like saying, okay, you were responsible enough to go through the hoops. Yeah, you have a gun on you, but you should be the last thing I should have to worry about in this traffic stop is just the citizen with a firearm that went through the whole process to get the gun. I don't understand what the cops have to be paranoid about, especially once you show them the permit. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, to me, that'd be the least of my problems. I'd be happy to find out that there's some armed citizen out there, unless they just don't want people to have guns at all because they're control freaks. And I can understand why they get pissy about it when people legally have them. But I don't know.
I think it's case by officer. I mean, in a sense, they, like I said, the guy that told me not to share information, blah, 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 I went through all that. He basically told me, that he did, basically gave me the impression he did feel better that I was a permit, especially under the situation because, I almost thought I was going to have to restrain my friend. So, like, dude, don't get me freaking shot. Like, we're calm the fuck down. But, like, if anything, I'm going to be helping them. And
Officer, I'm not with this man. I'm an Uber driver. This guy is just sitting up in the front seat with me.
He's there's some issues there, but there's some reasons behind it, but I don't want to give other people's business out. But he's a touchy one.
You guys remember a couple of years ago there was a big I forgot which state, but there was a big incident where basically two black guys were in a car, and I don't remember. I think it was a driver. The cop pulled them over, and the driver was a concealed carry holder. And he actually informed the officer. He handed him the cancel permit or whatever the hell. And I don't know what happened, but the guy basically the cop had him under a gun, and he wound up blasting the guy off. And the whole thing was like I think his wife or his girlfriend or something was in the passenger seat, and she was streaming the whole incident on a Facebook Live. Remember that? It was pretty big news, and somehow the officer got away scot-free, which for life of me I don't understand, because I watched the video over and over and over, and there was nothing the guy did that I don't know if it was a newbie and it was super nervous or whatever, or he was just a super racist because now we have a black guy in a Cadillac with a freaking gun or whatever the car he was driving, But he wind up blasting the guy over. Meantime, the guy, his partner was on the other side of the vehicle. He never even drew his gun. He just had his gun.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the case where the girl called 911 for help? Somebody was looking to break in her house. She came out, told the cops, and then there was a backfire, and the partner just opened up on her.
No. The guy just got pulled over for like a speeding or that. But the girl was kind of like your girl. She was like mouthy and bitchy, and so as soon as before they got pulled over, she like pulled up her phone, went Facebook Live.
I know what you're talking about.
And she was mouthing off and all that shit, While the guy was actually fairly cool, and let me see if I can find more info on it. This is back about 5 or 6 years ago. It was like it was kind of fucked up.
No, I do know when somebody, swapped over 3 lanes and damn near ran me off the road, and then recovered with a load of shit on my truck. And then, I'm looking to get back on the road from the shoulder, and the lady threw up her middle finger and locked her brakes up again intentionally, and I rear-ended this lady. Uh, I had obviously I wasn't very thrilled, and the cop was trying to blame me for I must have been following too close. I'm like, dude, you can see the skid marks across 4 lanes back there. Like, go take a walk. Like, I didn't say it like that, obviously, but I disagreed with the situation, and I told the officer, well, you can give me the ticket, but I'm going to fight it. And as soon as I said fight, he unholstered his gun, and then my lady got all loud, and it almost got bad quick. And I was like, whoa, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to fight you here. I'm just saying, I'm going to fight this ticket. Thankfully, the lady, ended up admitting that she cut me off, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up not getting that ticket. But, just saying the word, I'm going to fight the ticket was enough for the dude to draw his gun.
Oh, come on. No fucking way.
I swear to you, man. I swear to you. It was
you're like
like
120. You're like 120 freaking pounds soaking wet. There's no fucking way the cop's afraid of you to fight.
I'm telling you, bro. But I'm not saying he was afraid for his life, whatever. But I'm telling you, he drew his gun. So as soon as I said the word "fight," his gun was out. So my lady can verify, and she got pissed, and that didn't help the situation.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, I hate to say it, but people are racist. I mean, and I hate to say it, but the reason why a lot of white people are racist is because the fucking black people do a lot of stupid shit.
I agree, bro. I totally agree. People call me Uncle Tom, whatever. I don't know. You're making an ass out of us. So, pull your goddamn pants up and have some respect, and we won't have half these problems we do.
I mean, here's the thing. You say word drug dealer, you think of a black person. You say word a freaking rapist, 90% you're gonna think of the white guy. Or you're gonna say a serial killer, you're gonna think of a fucking white guy. You're gonna think about a fucking child molester, 90% of the time you're gonna think of the white guy. So it's not that white people are so fucking great.
Well, in some cases, it's a learned response. Nobody wants to talk about that and the psychological aspect. But if you see a green guy and go say hello and he punches you in the face, you're gonna be a little sketchy around the next green guy you meet. It's just what it is. Yeah, you don't get shows like this, folks. That tip jar out there, hook B23 up, man.
Yeah, this is
where is this tip jar you guys are talking about? I don't see any super chat options.
Yeah, I don't think G23 can do super chat. I think you need 1,000.
Yeah, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so
if people, hooked him up, he would. Yeah, I can only sub to him so many times. Plus, he's a damn black guy.
You're not a black guy. You're half a fucking cracker.
He's a Glock guy.
Oh, Glock guy. Never mind.
Damn, you and your race, man. Get over this color stuff. Holy Christ.
It doesn't matter. Man. It doesn't matter. You're still a half a cracker.
That's true.
Yeah, but then on the other side of that, he's half a Hershey's bar.
He's got the best of
your mouth, not in your hand.
He's like a giraffe. He doesn't know if he's a white horse with the black stripes or black horse with the white stripes.
Exactly. Like, I'm afraid to have an argument with myself on the street because it'll probably be deemed a hate crime.
Speaking of that, what about that Marine that choked that black guy on a subway? And now they're trying to crucify him.
Oh, yeah. I can only go by what I've seen on that, so I know that's a big controversy. I, got shit in comments about it already and da-da-da-da-da for leaving my statement. But as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, and I'm with Penny, man. Did he hold him maybe a little long? I don't know. And from the photo, he wasn't covering both arteries. So, I don't know, man. But, if you want to get on and act crazy and threaten people and all this shit, don't be surprised if somebody deals with your ass. That's just what it is, personally. So, Now, grant, maybe other information will come out in the future, whatever. But personally, from what I've seen, I think the guy, not stating that the death was called for, but I think he did society a favor by restraining this guy. It's a shame he died. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, this shit happens. If you don't want to take that risk, don't go around threatening other people.
Dude, the guy had a rap sheet that was like
really
a notebook full, man. He had like what,
I don't know all
arrests or something. I mean, good God, man.
I just hate, one day the situation would be different if the guy choking him would be Black Marine. Because L. Sharpton's all over the shit, calling this racist.
I don't know, man. I don't know. People say that, but in New York, it don't matter really. I mean, you defend yourself, you're a problem here in most cases, black or white. I think politically, maybe sure we want to believe that, but I wouldn't take it for granted if that was me. They get into details, my background, this and that. I think I'd probably be sitting in jail too. Probably. Maybe I'm not black enough. I don't know.
I heard that they had raised already like $2.5 million or something like that for his legal defense.
Well, I'm pretty sure the guy who took his case is doing it pro bono anyway.
Well, you guys hear about the whole scooter fiasco? I guess it was on like Twitter or Twunch, or I don't know what the hell it's called, but one of those other sites supposedly went viral, or supposedly people are all in an outrage about a white lady trying to take a black kid scooter, one of these ones you rent. But yet they have evidence and receipts that she actually purchased it first, and then they harassed her and forced the thing back into the docking station and covered the code so she couldn't rescan it and pay for it a second time to try to take it. So basically, because what you could call tribal culture in a sense, because there's more of them than you, and we got this card to pull, we're gonna make a big deal, and it blows up, and now this lady's possibly losing her job, got a lawyer up, all this bullshit. Because why? One of them couldn't have a scooter? I mean, that shit pisses me off. That makes us look bad as a people. You know what I mean? Like, an asshole's an asshole. It don't matter what color you are. You're still a piece of shit.
100%. People in this country need to stop referring to themselves as a white American, black American, red American. You're just a fucking American. You know what? When you fucking cut, you bleed red, regardless. So you know what? It don't fucking matter.
Yeah, but shit like that sets us back. Calling that fake stuff. It's like that other dude with the TV guy that was on that Empire show claiming he was, I don't know, he paid some people to try to rough him up and put some shit on his house or something. Shit like that sets us back, man. Like, it really does. Like, I'd like to personally punch the dude in the face.
Are you talking about a small A guy?
I don't know.
He's a Jesse Smollett or something.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy. Small A, whatever. When
like that pisses me off, man. Like, you're starting problems for nothing. Like, you're crying wolf. You're creating the things that make people not like us. You know what I mean? Like, you're feeding into the freaking bullshit, man. Like, I don't know. It pisses me off. Like, the old timers would be rolling in their graves looking at the modern kids today. You know what I mean? Honestly, like, you shouldn't even get me on this topic. Holy shit, you're gonna get canned on this.
So wait, we need to clarify. Was it you, Rob, that backed out of the tan off, or was it Daniel that backed out of the tan off?
Well, the answer wasn't me. Daniel had some stuff going on, so I can't go on people's business. I'm not gonna, unless he's trying to claim some shit. Then I can say what I know, but I don't know anything damning. But I believe he had some stuff going on, and it was just bad timing for him. But I think that's just an excuse because he knew I was gonna kick his ass, and I know he's a cheater too. But I was still gonna kick his ass.
Hey, G23, read a GTP production. His comment.
Yeah, the comment about Rob should start another YouTube channel and call himself Half Black Rambo.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, there's
Yeah,
pretty big
I don't
chance
know.
that he's called Black Rambo. The guy's kind of no, he's a goofball if you ask me. I mean, it's not like decent reviews or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think so too.
He's just
I
a
think that
goofball.
is a good ball, man.
Yeah, but that's what you need. You need dreads, and shooting 50 caliber and all that.
Yeah, he was dual-wielding 250s and like lobbed him God knows where he was shooting. I'm like, holy crap, does he even know where there's a backstop? They're like arcing him up and stuff. He's probably landing him in the next town over, man. He's crazy.
The guy's skit, I don't think it looks good upon us, as whatever. But there's gonna be those people in every color or creed, whatever. So, and that's one thing that people are always worried about optics, but there's always an asshole out there. It's just what it is, and really, it's not illegal to be an asshole. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And assholes live longer.
the Scotsman says we can get the challenge going again. Daniel's in a better spot now. So I think we need to make sure that this happens.
That's a stupid challenge. Like Thanos. Like what the fuck?
What is the challenge? Is it a shootout? Are we gonna go in the octagon, or what's going on here?
It's a tan off, so they have to tan for X amount of time period, and then
You mean like laying a tanning bed or something?
natural.
No, lay in the sun.
Well, it's probably Outcast because he's working outside all day. I mean, he's gonna get more sun naturally, right? I mean,
that's what I would say. And let me tell you, man, I look like, if CSI had to deal with me in the summer, they think I was 3 different people.
So we're trying to see who looks blacker is what I'm confused. What exactly are we trying to see who has the darker shade of a certain skin color?
That's what I'm hoping for, but honestly, I think it's who goes through the most color change. If you want to be fair, So yeah, I think that's
probably vote for
looking at it.
Zartan from GI Joe would probably win that one because he could be anything.
It's a racist challenge.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I'm upset because I can't participate. I get like the farmer's tan. I look like a trout. I'm like tan on the top and then pasty white underneath. I mean, it's really, you guys are lucky, man. You don't know how lucky you have it. So yeah,
that's probably good because then you have a strong contrast, and I think that's really the kicker is the contrast. You
throw me up in the air, I blend in with the clouds, and I'm on the ground. I blend in with the ground. It's perfect camo. So yeah,
I get the same thing. If I go to the beach and I go in the swimsuit, you can exactly see how long of socks I wear and how short of a t-shirts I wear.
Oh, dude, I know, man.
And how long I wear sunglasses.
Yeah, but see, there's a difference. Travis and I are big guys, so we're not going to be at the beach with our shirts off.
Well, I will. I don't care.
So
I don't care anymore. I have no more. I'm too shallow to give a damn anymore, dude. I don't care. People don't like me. That's fine. Don't matter. I'll go find somebody on dadbods.com that can love me. So, it don't matter.
I'm a big guy, but I lost like 20 pounds. And it turns out that my new neighbor is physical therapist / personal trainer, and he's got a fucking gym right in the goddamn house. So
you just go walk over there and use it?
I have a 6-pack in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
For me, going from somebody being a big guy down to my size now, actually, I've changed forms a few times, but I got no problems. I mean, I'll walk down the street naked if it ain't a crime. I really don't give a shit. I'm proud of everything I got.
Yeah, but if you walk down the street naked, you'll be invisible.
Wait a minute, what? What?
If he walked down the street naked, he'll
only at night.
Only at night.
He's so fucking thin.
Oh, I know, man. Look, I can hula through a Cheerio.
No, he can find the cover behind the goddamn telephone poles.
Like when he goes to buy a T-shirt, they give him money because the sizes are so small.
So
what is this?
That's
I have
funny.
a whiteout challenge. Is that what's going on with Scottish American? Dude, you'll destroy me, man. Easily going to win that one.
Listen, the Jews from the Auschwitz were freaking fat compared to.
No, come on, man. No. I mean, I'm a lot lot smaller than I was. My active weight was 210, and I'm like 178 now.
Dang.
So I fluctuate a little bit, but I'm not in the same routine as I used to be.
I wish I could just lose
and
weight
then
by getting older.
as a kid, there was a time I had bigger boobs than the girls I was trying to date. Honestly, that's what shamed me into changing. People say, shame's a bad thing, body shame and all this shit. I say bullshit, personally. When you had the situation like I had, it helped save my life. So that's the way I see it. I mean, and I've reaped a hell of a lot of benefits from it since.
Well, I had a bit bigger boobs than the girls, but I was benching 350 when I was 17. And 170 with what? Like a 2 packs of shingles on top of your freaking back? That's the only
No, man. I'm 170, 180, somewhere right in that range. 6'2". So, technically my BMI is perfect. Da 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 da. I don't know. I'm a perfect specimen from what they say. I don't know. I think it's bullshit.
Bullshit. To put it in perspective, I'm 6'3", I'm 250. So you're a skinny little bitch.
You son of a bitch. Come say it in my face. Say it in my face.
I think we need to have like a WWF style challenge. E23 and I can tag team against you guys, and then we'll have like Squiblo can show up and save us at the last second,
I'm getting in my truck. I'll be there in 3 hours.
There you go. Look at that. You'd have to add another 40 on there. Like another 60 on there for me, man. No, I don't know what I'm pushing right now. 240?
Last 350.
Oh, there we go. See, the two of us together, we weigh more than Rob's car, man.
See, I would go to Rob's neighborhood right now, but I'm afraid if I park my truck there, 2 hours later it'll be sitting on the cinder blocks.
It wouldn't even be 2 hours. You're talking like 84 seconds. They'll have that car up. You'll hit the alarm, and your car will be on blocks. If you're lucky, there's anything left. They've probably already stripped the fenders. They're selling the cat.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah, the cat. I've been waiting for somebody to mess with mine. They'll be pleasantly disappointed. I don't want to say why.
That's because you already done sold it.
No, it's not sold. It looks right. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, so you hollowed it out.
Not to mention, I have a fucking toolbox. That's a couple $1,000s worth of shit just in my toolbox.
Yeah, that's my thing. My tools are worth more than my damn truck.
Yep. Well, no, my truck's worth more than the tools because my truck's newer. That's the reason why I never had to change the goddamn brakes and shit, because I just changed the truck.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and bail out. You guys have yourselves a wonderful evening. Stay out of trouble. No fights between now and the next time I come back. Okay, things are getting really tense here in the 2A community. So, G, appreciate the link, man. Thanks, dude.
Thanks for jumping on, and
have a good night, man.
Everything goes great at Thunder on the Prairie.
Absolutely, man. We got plenty of room for all you guys, man. Y'all come on out there if you can, and if you make it, that'd be awesome. Be good to see y'all there. We'll have a good time doing a lot of shooting, so it'll be fun.
Yep.
Hey, take care, Travis.
Hey, take care, homie.
It's always fun, man.
All right, sounds good. Peace.
To be honest, I'd be all if that Nebraska shit would be like a month later, I'd be all over it. But I'm just not in a position. I'm barely getting by paying fucking bills with all this shit. The fucking house is still not sold. I had open house today, nobody showed up. But then again, it was raining all fucking day, so that didn't help either. So
I think that code for hookers and blow isn't cheap.
I don't do blow. I haven't, to be honest. That's one thing. As far as the drugs go, I never really did any drugs. I mean, I tried pot maybe once or twice. Didn't do shit for me. Everybody tells me because I quit drinking over the week, and I can't fucking sleep for the life of me. If you watch the video of me trying the shit that was supposed to help me sleep, and I wind up puking and shit. So yeah. So I only drink over the weekends now, and never I did pot once and just fucking didn't do nothing for me. And if I tell somebody that I got a hard time to sleep, well, tells me just smoke some pot. I'm like, first of all, I have no idea where to go get some pot. Second of all, I have no idea how to smoke that shit. And third of all, that shit stinks. So
There's
Here,
stores everywhere, man.
I
Now
would
in New
say
York, there's a shitload of illegal stores.
there's
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
there's probably
probably
a
the
store
least.
on every other corner. And the fact is you don't even have to do it like you used to do. Now they have it in vapes, so you can just get a vape pen and walk down the street smoking it.
Yeah, but I got you got to show your license and shit. Now there goes your concealed carry, and I don't want to mess with that shit.
I'm
I
not
mean,
going to advise that he does that. Have you tried meditation? I know this, sounds gay, whatever, but have you tried meditation?
you know what? I think it's
Honestly, tried it.
no, I haven't. I haven't. To be honest, I don't even know what the fuck meditation is. But
Maybe look into it. Your breathing control, things like that. There's steps to that that where it can help you. So
I,
I've had
I
trouble
think
sleeping forever myself.
I think it's just a matter of time. Just what I started, a couple of weeks ago, and it's been rough and all that. But last week it was on off. It took a while to fall asleep, but I did, and I'm getting by. So I'm just limiting the drinking on the weeknights when I don't have to wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock or whatever. Not that I have to wake up at 7 o'clock anyway, because not exactly busy as far as the work goes. I mean now I am a little bit with a couple of new jobs, but the big
Another
job,
good tip: a
the big
good
job.
woman will get your ass sleeping. Let me tell you. Yeah, you guys do things right. I mean, that's a whole exercise event right there, where that can help you sleep.
What?
A good woman can help you sleep.
A good what?
Woman, damn it,
A
girl,
good woman.
female.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. Ever since I moved out of the fucking house last 3 months, before I moved out, my blood pressure was 180 over fucking 140. Okay, they put me on the meds. I actually cut the meds myself because she had me on the more, and I cut it down myself. And now I'm waiting for the doctor to call me back if I even need the fucking meds. Because last 2 months my blood pressure was picture perfect. Last 2 months I've been at the gym at least 5 times a week. I'm intermittent fasting. I lost about 20 pounds. The way I'm going, by September, I'll be rocking the 6-pack. And you know what? I eliminated drinking and all the shit. So I think by getting rid of the fucking wife, I eliminated all the stress from my life. So I'm not really
Honestly, it
sure.
could be, man. It could be. The wrong woman could be just as harmful as the right one could be beneficial. So,
So after 20 fucking 7 years, it looks like whatever. I'm not gonna get in the middle of that. It is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, you should come on up, man. I can introduce you to Jakisha.
I mean, based on the name, I don't think I want to be introduced.
Hey, don't be so judgmental. She's a nice girl.
Okay.
He's talking about one of his baby mama. He wants you to start paying child support so he doesn't have to.
Ah, man, that's funny.
I mean, next Saturday, he's gonna be on here saying, "Hey, man, I got another knock on the door. This is like my 35th kid."
God damn it! Don't say that. Don't say it. Don't jinx me.
Well, you know what? I might take you up on it. I mean, next weekend I gotta do something, but if I don't have a shooting competition, I might come out to Binghamton for a fucking day or so.
Man, we could do something.
Throw my shit in the truck and fucking go up there for a weekend or something. I gotta ask my goddaughter if I can use her apartment. She's back home.
She's got one up here.
Yeah, she's got one across the street from a police station.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know exactly where that is. Matter of fact, I'm so pissed about that. I'm supposed to get the bid through the Weissmans for that. Actually, they tracked me down after I did a desk at the hotel over here that apparently blew people's minds. I don't know. Apparently, people can't make round desk around here. I don't know, but anyway, gave the guy a decent price. It was 3 pieces per room. I think it was 150 rooms. Basically, it would have been big money. I had to go talk to a money guy about that to find out about the taxes and shit. But needless to state, you know, I didn't get the job because I was trying to convince them to use real wood instead of, you know, particle board and Formica, which I got no problems doing. But you know how these college kids are. You're going to be changing shit all the time. And the design was a flip out table with one little leg and wheel that pops down. Get a couple drinks with some kids in a damn room and see how long that table lasts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not practical, but whatever. Because I even suggested something different, they hired like 5 vans full of Mexicans. I was pissed. There was people down there picketing. I was pissed enough to go to picket, but I didn't because I had to go down. I had to go to work. You know, I drive by them daily. Like, what the hell, sons of bitches! I still curse them out when I drive by that building.
So Defense Dad says Rob got a Ring doorbell just so he could screen out old baby mamas.
I'm against Ring doorbells, man. That's a third-party system that can easily be used against you. I don't advise Ring doorbells. They have no problems handing shit over to the police. Sometimes it ain't got shit to do with you. They just want to see who was outside this time or whatever and shit like that. No. I don't do that. I mean, they would, in some cases, they're going to have to subpoena me for my footage off my system. So, and depending what it is, especially when half the time they don't even do shit. Like they don't, you know, they're only investigating because they're supposed to. Are they actually going to keep a son of a bitch in jail? Are they going to charge restitution? Are they going to do anything about it? No, they're just going to fuck my day up. So I got to come home, scroll through shit, download it on a flash drive for them. You know what I mean? And of course they want to see everything. It ain't your goddamn business. What time frame do you need? You know, it's a freaking hassle, but they don't have to ask you none of that shit with Ring. They just go direct to them. There's been a lot of shit with that, but people don't talk about it because it ain't popular. So, yeah, people do what you want to do. All that smart home shit, it's a double-edged sword, man. I'm telling you.
Actually, it all boils down to the settings. You can disable all that shit. If you don't share with the neighborhood, blah, 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 then they can't really access the footage. So there's ways around it. You know, but did you see the video of when a cop rang the doorbell, the Ring doorbell, and the lady answers, right? Oh, we're not home. He goes, yeah, I know, but you know what? I lost a suspect around here. Would you mind looking at your cameras? You know,
yeah,
see
sure, that's one scenario. But personally, I don't give a shit. You know?
And she's like, no problem. Give me a second. And she goes, he's in my trash can in the back. He's in my trash can. It was hilarious.
Yep.
Around here, it's more of a damn hassle. So, you know, I'll give them the video for some other crime, and they'll try to arrest me for some shit because, you know, I don't know. You know, I parked too far away from the curb or some shit. That's the way it goes around here. You don't volunteer shit.
I think you need to move out of Binghamton.
Start charging $600 an hour. And then tell them that there's a minimum 30-hour processing fee.
I probably could in a sense. You know, I mean, another example, I had a neighbor found a cell phone. So, you know, he tried to call numbers on there and say, hey, you know, that found this cell phone. You know the owner, tell him to contact me so they can get it back or whatever. This guy was in, I think, his 70s. You know, decent guy, not a problem, you know, went through his whole life, doesn't have a criminal record, nothing. Who's over there giving him shit, slamming him up against the wall? The person that's currently the police chief, trying to force him into saying he stole the phone. Like, they called the cops on him, they went back and forth, they harassed him. Freaking, I ended up going to court with the guy because they were trying to charge his ass. Thankfully, because I was respectful, asked the judge if I could speak. The guy asked him if he wanted to allow me to speak. Said yes. Explained the situation. The judge was pissed, dropped the case right then and there, done. Boom. Like, why are you wasting my goddamn time with this? That's who's running our police department right now. I got all types of shit I can tell you, but, you know, go ahead. Keep trusting the government.
Oh, no, fuck the government. You know what? I had the same conversation with my son because My mom gave me some of those pills that Trump took against the COVID. So she had some. She split some for us. And my son was kind of skeptical. He's like, well, don't you think the government knows what they're doing? Blah blah blah. I'm like, Tomas, you have to understand, government doesn't have your best interest in mind. When I grew up in Czechoslovakia, right, was the same thing. Government controlled everything. So you trust the government. This is what government did. This is how they control the population of gypsies, because we had a big problem with gypsies. If the gypsy lady had a second kid, after the second kid, they would just tie her ovaries without her consent. That's just what doctors did. They might not acknowledge that, whatnot, but that's what was requested of them from the government. So
they used to do that here too. A lot of people with the psych wards. It used to be a thing. If you wanted to get a divorce, this goes back a ways. But my grandmother was, put in an institution temporarily until the family pulled her out because of this. But basically, if you want to get a divorce, all you gotta do is say your wife's crazy. You pay them the money, they take your wife against her will, and then you can go legally get a divorce, and you don't have to share a goddamn thing. And hopefully they got family that can come vouch for them, or they're going to be pretty much stuck there. That used to be a thing here.
Yep. One of the reasons I'm living in this fucking house because my wife was about to call the cops on me for no apparent reason. And the last thing I need is a fucking felon.
You need to get the hell out of there then.
Well, yeah. Pretty much 2 days later, the guns and me were gone. And the guns are in Pennsylvania right now, so even the cops over here, they can kiss my ass.
Yeah, and a lot of times they're gassed up by their friends or their mom or whatever else, because this is how you do it. Same thing when it comes to family court. Everything could have been perfect, but as soon as you got problems, everything comes out the woodwork. The shit you would never expect. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So
I gotta get my ass down to the liquor store.
I went 180 as far as the government goes and all this shit, because I grew up in a country and everything was controlled by the government. I mean, and for the lack of better words, like, we did not know any better, because you just don't know, because that's where you grew up. That's the shit been pounding in your head for years and years and years. And even when I came here, I didn't get into guns until like late 30s, my 40s. Shit, I got my pistol permit back in, I think, 2012, 2014 or something like that. And I remember my first house, I had a neighbor watching the movie. The neighbors came over with like a date night or whatever shit. And we watching a movie. This was the Signs with Mel Gibson about the aliens and shit. And there was a scene where they're down in the basement and fucking aliens are trying to fucking break the door and whatnot. And my neighbor's like, fuck that. I'd have my 12 gauge and I would blast the fucking fools through the goddamn door. I'm looking at him like, you got fucking guns? He goes, hell yeah, I got 12 gauge under my fucking bed. I'm like, what for? I'm like, the fucking criminals and people trying to break in. I was like, I was never like into that shit. And back then my son was only like 1 or 2 years old. I bought a house when he was born. It did kind of dawn on me like shit, yeah, I moved into the house, new house. My son was born, and I couldn't sleep at night because like every fucking noise woke me up, because all of a sudden you're responsible for somebody else. It's not just you and your girlfriend anymore. Now you have a fucking kid, And then my daughter was born. I built a new house, and same thing. And after that, I kind of got into guns. It took a while to reprogram my brain from how it was programmed when I was born. Like when I was born, and my father was the same way. When I talked to my father about guns, he was like, nobody should have guns. Guns are for criminals only. I'm like, exactly. Only criminals have guns. Law-abiding people don't. What do? You call the cops? When somebody's knocking on your door, somebody wants to break your door down, you're gonna not call the cops. By the time the cops get there, you're dead. So it's just a mindset.
Oh yeah, man. There's still a lot of people in New York don't even think you can legally have a gun. I mean, I've had arguments with family members, and show them my permit, this and that, and they think I just printed it up, or I got to be lying or something. Like, they ain't giving a black man a gun here. I don't give a shit what you say. it's brainwashing in a sense. So it even happens here, you know. So you know, if anybody sees my gun, grocery store, this or that, they just automatically assume I'm a cop. I mean, to the point where I've gotten, you know, discounted coffees and shit places. Like they just assume. So, you know, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, yeah, you have that, you know, I'm sure maybe California might have some of that or stuff, but there's a lot of people in New York that still just, they never looked into it. They just go what they've heard and, you know, all that type of stuff. So definitely crazy, man.
Well, that and people are scared. They're still scared of guns because they, you know, it's the movies, it's a culture, it's the shit in the news.
Mhm.
They're not. You know, I'm not saying everybody should have a gun. If you don't feel comfortable have a gun, then don't. I mean, bottom line, it's a matter of choice. But sometimes it's you know what? It's like this Chinese couple I trained a couple months ago. A buddy of mine calls me up. He goes like, I got this Chinese couple. Can you take them out to the range? And like they just bought a shotgun. They have no fucking idea what they're doing. And so I did. I took them out, gave them like a basic shit. You know, we went over spin banana. It was kind of cold. And the end of the day, I was like, okay, both of you need to shoot at least one, like a 00 buck through the shotgun just to know how it feels. So the guy didn't really have a whole lot of problem with it because he was a guy. I mean, he's a Chinese guy. He wasn't, no, he was like you. He was like $160, you know, freaking 5'10". But the girl was like freaking, she could barely see over a sheet of goddamn plywood, and she was probably 90 pounds soaking wet. So when she showed the gun and fired the 00 buck, it just fucking gun. I was behind her. I wound up catching the gun. The gun went flying. She was almost knocked on her ass. So I loaded another round, and I said, okay, now don't shoulder it. Tuck it under your shoulder. Just tuck it, squeeze it with your elbow, and just point in the direction and shoot. You know, and she did, and she did fairly okay. You know, I put a paper target, probably like maybe 10, 12 yards out, and she hit it. So I said, you know, somebody breaks into the house, that's what you do. Don't worry about aiming. Don't worry about at the close distance and all that shit. Just tuck it under your shoulder, squeeze it, and shoot.
That reminds me, yeah, the newbie mistakes or whatever that we were talking about. Yeah, there was a while ago. How you doing? Good. A while ago, I ended up, you know, having my lady shoot the 12 gauge because I was like, look, yeah, I just got to be able to shoot it. Like, you know, you got to know what to expect. Da, 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 da. So, you know, took her out, loaded her up, started off light, got all the way up to slugs in it as a cocktail, you know, and yeah, she ended up taking a shot or two, and the next thing you know, I had to take her to the masseuse, and then we spent the rest of the evening in the hospital. So, you know, there is such thing as too much for some statured people. So, yeah,
That's why
that was a mistake.
That's why for the home defense, I hate recommending pistol grip shotgun. You don't want to have a pistol grip. You want to stand a stock on a shotgun for the home defense, just because of you know, if there's a small statue, all they gotta do is just tuck that thing, you know, against the hip, whatever, squeeze it with the elbow, and fire a shot. And it's so much harder to do that shit when you have a pistol grip. So home defense shotgun. I'm not saying the shotgun's a perfect home defense gun. The way I had it set up in my future ex-wife house was I'd have a handgun in a handy safe or somewhere, and also had a shotgun. And the whole idea was like, it's not that something goes bump and I want to go investigate, but something happens and you actually do leave the bedroom. I don't want to leave the wife without anything. So at that point, if actually I have to leave the bedroom, then she gets a shotgun. And at that point, she just points the goddamn thing at the door. She can rest it on the bed, and anything comes through the door that's not me, she just shoots.
I think it's a pretty good system. I swapped down the 20 gauge. The lady likes it with the 20 gauge, but she does not like the 12 gauge. So, but yeah, I think that's a big thing is, you know, having, that's why I like firearms that both partners can use in a sense, for backup or whatever. And you're gonna want something that they can secure the kids, secure themselves, whatever the case is. So.
Well, it comes down to the layout of the house and where the kids are. Like back in the day, all the kids, everybody was up on the second floor, so we had the bedrooms next to each other. But now my son basically has a bedroom downstairs. So somebody wants to break in, God forbid, whatever, through the front door or whatever, he's down there. So whatever I'd be shooting, let's say he comes up the stairs, my son's room is in like direct line of fire. So I would never shoot like in an angle if I had to. I would wait for the guy, whatever the fuck, to come up and shoot straight up. I mean, bullet will still go through the fucking house, no doubt, and probably into the neighbor's house. But the way that my house and neighbor's house are staggered, chances are it'll miss. But those are the things you have to think about, because the 9mm might not be a whole lot, but it'll go through the fucking house, because regular house has a 1/2 inch plywood on the outside, vinyl siding or hardy board siding, whatever you got, insulation, 1/2 inch sheetrock on the inside, and even a couple of interior walls with a 1/2 inch sheetrock. That bullet has got quite a bit of oomph to go through all that shit.
Yeah, picking best home defense firearm. There's you can't just say one size fits all. So it all really depends on the situation. And hell, I know. I don't want to be shot by any damn caliber. So I don't care if it's a little 22 or if it's a 50 BMG. I don't want to figure out if it's going to hurt or not. I'm going to just assume that it's going to hurt like hell.
I mean, regular birdshot from 12 gauge will put a fucking hurt on you big time.
Yes.
It depends on the distance with some of that. As far as birdshot, anything close range within your home, it's going to be a major problem, make a mess. I could say I've caught like ricochet, stuff like that, and honestly, what I felt was a burn. It wasn't so much an impact or something; it was more of a burn.
But you absolutely have to take into consideration where you live. Is the apartment building, or you live in a condo, you live in a 2 acres or 5 acres? It was different. So you have to worry about neighbors. You don't have to worry about neighbors. What kind of house you live in. If you live down south or up north and you have a range with a brick veneer around, obviously regular bullet ain't gonna go through the brick. So it just adds up. It's good to have a plan, and it's good to talk to the kids and spouse about the plan. It's just it's just like when they have a freaking firearm drills in school or active shooter drills in school. Same shit. Kind of
you work through it ahead of time. Then when something happens, you already have an idea of what to do instead of saying, "Oh shit, what do I do?" It's the same thing when you go out to eat or something. Where you sit makes a difference. Which way you face. Are you watching the doors? This and that. You know what I mean? Once you get in that habit, you already have an idea of what you're going to do if something happens. So everybody else is jumping up, screaming this and that. You already got your family out the door.
Well, thankfully, where I live, shit like that doesn't really happen. But
that's what people say until it does.
Yeah, but I was getting to that about 3 years ago, because people all mad about the red flag laws and all that, which I don't agree with them, but to some extent, something like that might be effective, but It's like a double-edged sword. Literally about two streets over from me. This is about 3-4 years ago. A trailer park, and there was a standoff. The old man was almost in his 70s, had a standoff with the cops. Somehow they convinced him to come out, and he did. But before he did, he turned the fucking stove on and lit the candle. Thankfully, nothing happened. By the time they got into the fucking house and all that, they shut everything off, and it didn't blow up. But this is like 2 streets over, so like this dude's not right. Something's not okay with them, so maybe he should not have a gun.
So we can talk about this. Red flag laws are completely unconstitutional. And before everyone says, oh, blah, blah, the thing is in every state in the country, before this all big, huge red flag law, push, there's always been ways to deal with people that are having issues. If they're having a mental issue or whatever, there's always been ways that they could separate the person from the firearms without taking the firearms and then you fighting to prove that, hey, guess what? You're wrong. So at any point in time, a law enforcement officer can take you in for a 72-hour psych hold. Guess what? You're separated from your firearms, but they're not taking your firearms, and now you're going to spend the next possible year trying to get them back.
See, I think it's not just a law enforcement and the actual what's the word? The problem is there's no more community. Okay, so like for example, this guy. Okay, obviously he was troubled. There was something wrong with him. Like, how come neighbors didn't know this and all this shit? So, like on the one hand, you don't want to meddle into other people's business, but on the other hand, if you live in a community, you kind of want to know what's going on and maybe help the brother out. So you see the guy has an issues, maybe just go talk to them and whatnot. A lot of times it's not about mental health issues as per se. It's just the guy's being down, he's being kicked. He just needs a little help. He needs somebody to talk to and whatnot. And more people just don't want to help anybody. Like I'm in front of the fucking Home Depot, and the guy's trying to load the goddamn cement mixer into the back of his fucking truck by himself. So I run over. I was like, just hold on, I'll give you a hand. And he's looking at me. I got a fucking third leg. Like, yeah, you need help, so I'm here. I'll help you. Or same story. You see a guy trying to load 20 sheets of fucking sheetrock by himself, and there's no Home Depot employees, and I'm getting out of the fucking store with nothing in my hands. I'm like, yeah, let me give you a hand. No problem. Come on, it'll take us 20 seconds. What's the big deal? Problem is, people are less and less being a fucking people. They're less and less willing to help, being compassionate, and just being fucking kind. That's the problem. We kind of.
I agree, man. The only thing they show is the bad. They only show the bad stuff. They never show, the neighbor helping out the other neighbor, or, this and that. They never show that type of stuff. They only show the most worst extreme stuff. So everybody gets hyped up. I mean, I've had the same experience. You go to help somebody, and they're like, "Oh, no, I can get it." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine. I give you a hand." And they think I'm going to charge them or demand a tip or something for giving them a hand. I did see a lady with a flat tire. I'm literally unloading a jack out of my vehicle from going to work on a customer's vehicle. I got to move this shit anyway, or it's going to get stolen. I can, just pop the trunk. I can change it for you. I don't need nothing. The lady freaked the hell out. Some guy came over looking over his shoulder the whole time, swapped cars with her. He changed the tire and basically burned the hell out of here. It's insulting. You know what I mean? I'm willing to help you for free. You don't even got to get out the car, man. But they don't want the help. It's crazy, And then, another aspect of that, everybody claims all this race shit when, what the hell was it? something in my distributor. Ignition module went. I'm stuck on the side of the road. Only time it's ever happened in my car, I will add. You know who stopped for me? White people, white females at that. Black people just drove right the fuck by laughing. So, you know, all this shit on TV, that it ain't true, man. It's just hype up for the vibe. You know, I deal with well, I'll just say Asian. I don't want to say the wrong damn thing. People all the time. I ain't got no problems with them. You know, they ain't got no problems with me. Shit, they gave me a car one time because I helped them out so much. You don't hear about shit like that. That we I guess we're just all supposed to hate each other. You know what I mean? That's really the problem.
Divide and conquer.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of like going back to the whole thing on top. You know, other was clicks. Guess what? Clicks divide. So you start having a divisive situation.
I agree. That's why I think that screen sharing, it's, you know, it's dividing people in different groups having conversations when you could all be in the same collective conversation. But yeah, I don't know. Besides the whole spam aspect, so that, you know, that whole stream sharing thing's pissing me off. I just had to can Hillbilly not long ago. I like Hillbilly, you know, but I don't want fucking spam in my shit all the time. I don't, you know, if you're on another show, great, I'll watch that show, but I don't need to see click on shit and find out there's two people or one person in the chat and you're sitting on somebody else's shit that I'm already subscribed to. The fuck am I doing here? I don't understand it. You know what I mean? So, you know, no disrespect, and everybody sees it differently. I see this spam. I've deleted a few channels because of this. Don't take it personal. I like you as an individual. I'm just not dealing with the spam bullshit so people can get views. It ain't worth it to me.
You delete my subscription, I'll come over there and beat your ass.
I'll tell you right now, don't hop on every show you get on, start running a restream, because I will delete your ass.
What the fuck is the restream?
So, okay, so like if I had the paid version of StreamYard, I could go into my settings and I could turn on so that like when you came on my panel, you could click a button and then my live stream would also be going on your channel at the same time.
I don't need this lame ass fucking shit on my channel.
Right? But I'm saying like there's other channels that you know you can do that, you know, and they do that all the time. Now, even if I had the paid version, I would just never turn that on. That's just me because, you know, I don't see the point of it, truly.
Hey, man, everybody's welcome to do what they like, but there's consequences for your actions. People look at things differently. I personally don't like it. I think probably the loudest component of not liking it. I can name off a dozen well, not really a dozen, but I can name off quite a few. You know, that's just my point of view. I mean, if you don't like me because I have a different point of view, go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. That's America, man. I'm different. So, you know, like I state, I don't dislike the individuals. I just don't like bullshit in my feeds. You know, it's just me. I'm the same people with family members. Like people fuck around, pass my phone number around for a damn group chat, won't take me out. So I changed my fucking number. Now everybody's pissed off and got attitude. Oh, fucking well. I don't know what to tell you guys. You know what I mean? I told you to take me the fuck out.
So we've been joined out there by AAF. Welcome, bud. But I know I think Hillbilly's getting ready to start up in about 10 minutes, and I still got to cook dinner for the wife. So I'm going to end up killing this, and hopefully everyone has a great Saturday evening. And again, next Saturday, I will be doing the Can I Restore My Rights in Florida. I was supposed to do Florida this week, but because of things going on and me ending up being like a dumbass and, hey, guess what? This AR doesn't have a barrel nut. Oh, no, the barrel nut wasn't torqued down properly, so it came off in the handguard. And I'm not really... an AR guy, so I didn't really know, a whole hell of a lot. So, learning processes, you know.
Well, your first mistake was buying a goddamn PCC in a 40. What the fuck? Who buys a PCC in a 40?
Hey, don't shame the man. Don't shame the
You
man.
know
We're
what?
having growing moments here.
So you run out here. You go, okay, I'm gonna go buy this PCC, but my primary firearm is, say it's a 10 millimeter. You're gonna go, okay, well I'm gonna go out and buy a 9mm PCC. Well, now you gotta go buy all new mags. You gotta go do all this other stuff. Or my primary pistol that I carry is my EDC. I can go and use that, and the same mags I use in that, I can go run in my PCC.
Actually, you got a point there. I'll take it back.
So I can take that 30 rounder mag out of that PCC. I can slap that fucker right in my G23, and now or I can do vice versa. So I can save myself money, and I'm still running one single, caliber.
I mean, 40 caliber is kind of underrated. The thing about 40 is you can load it way the fuck up there with a 10. You can load it down to 9. It's kind of, even the competition circles. It's kind of it's kind of underrated. But let's say the new division they have, the what's called limited optics. So I was actually thinking, I just gotta sell some shit together, and I was gonna order like a 2011 in the 40 that I can put an optic on and shoot it in a limited optics, because you can load down the 40 to almost a 9mm specs. Like if you take a 9mm with 165 grain bullets, opposed to a 40, you can get a 40 in the 165 grain bullets. It'll be really soft shooting gun.
I have
40 is pretty versatile.
I have 120 grain 40 projectiles. You want to talk about some screaming rounds right there?
Well, your 40 will, other PCC will gain another 50 to 100 FPS easy.
Okay.
It's my phone. Sorry.
No, I was just like, okay, is that Russian that we're hearing right there? You damn lobster.
It's not Russian. I'm not from Russia. You Jesus Christ, you fucking West Coast motherfuckers, buy a goddamn map. Figure out the world's a lot bigger than just fucking US.
KGB.
Oh,
You want to hear something super funny? You guys sitting down. This is back to that stupid stuff topic. Like, I probably shouldn't even say this. It's probably too bad. I brought it up.
no stones if you don't.
One time. It only happened once. And it was a long time ago. I bought a Glock.
Oh fuck. Well, don't feel bad. I bought a couple of them too. I actually have one Glock too. Bought it from a garage guy. I got a Glock 17.
I expected a better reaction than that from G23. But, yeah.
See, we all know that you're a secret Glock owner, that you have one in the safe, and that you take it out to the range and shoot it, but you just don't want to be seen with it. We understand that you're a closet case.
Everybody needs a drop gun.
We've accepted that you're a closet case.
Hey, G23. The nice thing about being a Glock owner, you don't have to be surprised when the new generation comes up, because you already have it.
Well, the thing is maybe it's not going to have finger grooves. Maybe it's going to have finger grooves. Maybe it's going to have a different kind of serration, or maybe it'll have front cocking serrations. Maybe it won't.
Well, if
Maybe
you
it's going to
keep
have
your
a
original,
certain different kind of stippling. Maybe it's not going to have that one.
if
So
you
there is
keep
a
your
little bit of
original
surprise.
Glock, if you keep your original one, just wait like a couple years and it'll be cool again. Like the finger groove thing. Yeah.
I mean, you have to hand it to the Glock because they started the whole Striker Fire bullshit and all that shit. But I mean, they have not changed a fucking thing in a goddamn how long, and the Glock people just fucking gobble it up.
But they have.
There's,
They
there's
have changed
virtually,
it.
I mean, there's virtually no
Copy Smith's recoil spring.
there's virtually no difference between the Glock Gen 1 and Glock Gen 5. None. It's the same fucking gun dressed in a different goddamn clothes. That's it. It's the same fucking gun. Finger grooves, no finger grooves, blah, 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 blah. Same fucking gun. End of story. That's just no innovation whatsoever. You can claim perfection, but there's no innovation. You can bitch at SIG as much as you want, but there's one thing you can't deny to SIG is innovation. Those motherfuckers, they come up with new shit all the time.
Yeah, but see, they
Yeah,
have to
even hammer fired.
they have to keep coming up with new stuff because they haven't hit that perfection. I mean, it says it right there. Glock perfection.
Oh, let's see.
They've perfected it. They don't need to go, "Oh, guess what? We're going to make something better." No, because it's already the best.
Oh, okay.
That's why if you hear other people talking about like the PSA dagger, "Oh, this is the Glock killer." The P320, "Oh, this is the Glock killer." All these other things, they're supposedly the Glock killer, but they're keep being they're they're still compared to the Glock.
Well, let's back up. What's the gun that U.S. Army adopt, which is not a Glock? I rest my case. I rest my case. Okay. U.S. Army said the Glock is shit and SIG is the shit. So you can't argue with the logic.
And then they'll give them a couple of years. They'll probably go back to the Beretta, or they'll go to Glock, or they're going to go to whoever's going to give them the greatest
No,
deal.
they won't.
They're going to go to the people that are say, guess what? This gun is normally $600 retail, so we're going to give it to you for $125, and they're going to go, okay.
Listen, it's not, when it comes to this shit, it's not just the money, because there was the same thing. I talked to the owner of the Grand Power in Slovakia. The police department were adopting new guns, right? They used to have a CZ fucking 82s or whatever the hell. So they decided finally time to go in the 21st century and get new guns. So Grand Power is made in Slovakia, it's designed in Slovakia and all that. So Grand Power came up with a really, really, really good price for the police department. They wind up going with a Glock as well. Okay, and trust me, it wasn't because of the price of the gun. It was because of politics and stuff behind it.
So Idaho Rogers USMC says John Browning achieved perfection 110 years ago. Yes, you're right. When he originally made the 1911 and there was no grip safety in there, perfection. But then he wanted that government contract, so he said, okay, I'm going to fuck up perfection. I'm going to put a grip safety in there. So it's going to change the aesthetics. It's not going to look as pleasing, but we're going to do this to appease the government. And see, there you go. You wonder why Glock didn't get that contract? It's because they won't put a grip safety or some other, bullshit external safeties on their firearm because it doesn't need it.
Well, can we all agree that blind people should be able to just carry hand grenades?
Blind people should be able to have remote-controlled C4 and hand grenades, like standard issue. They should be getting a certain allotment every month. Like, here you go.
I'd say the same with seniors, like the ones with the bad hand problems or whatever. I know the pins can be a little tricky to pull out. I mean, if you preset it a little bit, it's easier, but you don't have to worry about accuracy. It's that whole fuck around and find out mentality. And if you're close enough that you're going to watch, a disabled person get assaulted and beat and just cell phone it or video it, then you deserve a little shrapnel. Consider it a souvenir.
Hey, I got my phone call. I might be back, I might not. So if I won't be back, I'll see you guys later.
Yep. Have a good night, Bald.
Take care.
Keisha's calling him.
Nah, my sister's calling me. She's checking on me every night just to make sure I don't hang myself. So I have to call her back because.
Hey, man, be thankful you got family that cares, bro.
Another 30 minutes, she'll probably call the cops to come and check on me.
So, and that's why I said that they should get remote-controlled C4 also. So just in case they have arthritic hands, if they have arthritic hands or whatever, they're included. And Rollis Carvelis is out there, and he says, why only blind people? Well, we just wanted to start an agreement at some. They're not the only ones that should get it. Everyone should be able to have, C4 and hand grenades if that's what they want. But I'm gonna end this because, like I said, I gotta cook for the wife. It's my day of the week, so I'm gonna play the outro, and we shall see you next Saturday.